how's everyone doing this week?
Oh man, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh man, how are you?
Welcome to the Three Dudes podcast.
Yes.
The only show that tells you to fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, get out of here.
But come back, please. We desperately need you.
We do need. Yeah. So, my name is Slam, and I have a refreshing mint flavor.
Ooh.
My name is Ham, and I have a smooth, silky aftertaste.
My name is Drog, and I am bitter and dank.
And this is the Three Dudes show. We are back for episode what?
8?
8? This is episode 8.
Yeah.
Is it episode 8?
Yeah, we're like 2 months into this bastard.
We each hosted
That's
3.
Yeah.
Ham did 7.
Yep.
This is episode 8.
Yeah. We're
shit.
We're 2 months into this bastard, and we have a consistent fan base of like 10 people every week.
Yeah.
One
hell
of them
yeah.
is me.
So, yeah.
How's everyone doing this week?
Yes,
We already
well,
covered that.
I'll tell you.
I thought I already told you that.
I'll tell you how we're doing. Segue. We are fucked.
Yeah. Hey, look at you.
We are fucked
Yes.
this week.
We
Boy,
are.
oh boy.
What a good host.
Yeah. Look at
Look at you.
And
Staying
look,
on top.
Right on.
Well, look, I got radio experience.
That's right.
man.
We're gonna have another like 2.5 hour episode this week. Slam at the helm. This is gonna get completely derailed.
Oh, totally. Oh, totally. I said I have radio experience. I didn't say I had any like moderator experience. I'm not like fucking Anderson Cooper or anything.
Listen, have you ever watched them? Anybody in the modern age try and host a debate? It's not possible.
Oh,
not in this era.
The
Nah.
misery.
Yeah.
Like, you remember poor Jim Lehrer with his cute
Yeah.
little face? And
Yeah.
they just ran him through the mud afterwards because he let people talk, basically.
You said misery, and I just pictured Kathy Bates hobbling.
Jim Lehrer's just bringing his knees or his feet at the ankle.
Oh, you sick bitch! Just
And she calls him a dirty birdie
yeah.
over and over again.
Talk about shit that still makes you cringe every fucking time you see it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's a genius shot.
It's-
I
it's
feel
the-
like it follows the swing.
Yeah.
And you hear that crunch.
It's the ankle bend.
Yeah.
Around the
Yeah. So.
Oh God! Sorry to start everybody out on that. Ooh.
So I would like to open with why we're fucked.
Why are we fucked?
I don't have any complex intro for this. I'm just gonna say what I want to say. Condoms are way too fucking expensive.
Yeah, dude, tell me about it.
Like, okay.
You're right, and the rent is too damn high while you're at it.
No, but it's like it's you know a tried and true. You know, sometimes they don't work, obviously, but they work almost all the time.
Yep, pretty much. If you're using them properly, they just work, really.
Right. If you're not keeping them in your fucking wallet for 2 months.
Right.
And then, you know, expecting to go to Pound Town.
Yeah,
As they call it.
Your ticket is valid only until the date on the box.
Pound Town. It's more like a ticket to like flaccid, unenjoyable experience. A minute and a half.
Yeah, ticket to muted pleasure.
By the
now.
time you're done boarding, you got to get back off the plane.
Surprise, it's the same place.
Some lady threw up in the aisle, so y'all got to deplane and fluff it back up and start over again.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, exactly. For you guys too, right?
This is
For everybody, right? Yeah,
right.
this is your
Okay.
captain speaking. We have taken off and we have arrived. I hope it was good for you too.
Good night, babe.
That's funny. What's got you saying this?
Because condoms are fucking expensive, man. Like
better than
okay,
ask that
so
question.
because I recently went to buy condoms, and they are expensive as shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is not just a problem that applies to condoms either. This applies to women and birth control pills.
Yeah,
This applies to
Personal lubricants.
personal lubricant. Like you got to make a fucking investment to have safe sex.
Yeah.
It's worth it, of course, because you don't want a fucking baby.
Yeah.
Or you know a dick melting disease. But like. But
Dick melting disease.
Oh, doctor!
Oh no, doctor, my penis is all drippy. It's falling off.
Oh, looks like you got the old dick melt, son.
My drippy penis. That's actually
like a popsicle in the summer.
that's not entirely inaccurate. It's, okay.
Now,
Unsettling.
but yeah, birth control in general needs to be more affordable,
Yeah.
and I feel like it could be
Sure, it could be.
without
Without Republicans in Washington. This is call a spade a spade.
I was gonna say the puritanical ideas certain Americans have towards casual sex.
Yeah,
in
Republicans in Washington.
the 2000s.
Let's just call it what it is.
It's the 21st century. We have the technology. Let people fuck each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Just
saying.
let people fuck
It is
each other.
literally the third most base human drive behind breathing and
I mean, I
living.
think sleeping and eating.
Right,
and then fucking.
It's breathing, living, and fucking.
Most people like to have sex.
Yeah.
Whether you want, and we have these pretty puritanical ideas in America about casual sex, you
Yeah.
know, and even just sex with like in my situation, we don't want kids,
Right.
Yeah.
we're always gonna so don't put that hurt on us,
Yeah, right.
Like
if the people had their way, you would just never ever fuck.
right.
Probably ever touch your peepers either.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be allowed to touch your peeps, and no one would be allowed to touch your peeps either.
Yeah.
Or their own
Shit.
peeps.
There needs to be some peep touching.
Yeah.
I
think it's probably a good idea.
There's nothing wrong with touching your peep as long as you're not doing it in public or hurting your family.
You're like
You know what I mean?
You're like in front of a window or a
Right.
playground or on a bus.
Yeah. Or like you can do that, but just make sure no one's looking.
Because if anyone sees you, you're in huge trouble.
Right, exactly. That's the
Yeah.
only reason to not do that.
Yeah.
So moral of the story, kids, do it but don't get caught.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Don't be an idiot. Don't get caught.
That's great life advice, right
Do it
there.
in like a bathroom stall
that
or
is-
like the broom closet.
Yeah, that's part of the ham philosophy for life.
Or on the roof.
Yeah, yeah,
Touch
up on
your
the
peep
roof.
somewhere.
Tell your
Just-
boyfriend not to be mad at me. Up on the roof. You don't know.
I don't know what the fuck you're
not-
talking about.
Dave's not black enough.
No,
for
I'm
this.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not black.
A diddler on the roof is what we call it.
Yeah.
If I touched your lady parts, I would stroke your tippy tippy tongue with my tippy tongue.
Oh, the diddler on the roof.
The diddler on the roof.
Coming soon from 3 dudes.
The diddler on the roof.
Coming
Yeah.
soon.
Brilliant. Yeah, no.
Damn.
We are. You know what? It's not so much that we're fucked this week; it's that I'm fucked.
Oh, no.
Personally, this is one that is only relatable to me. To me,
Just to me.
I can't. I'm ripping off. I'm ripping off Bill Burr. I've been listening to his podcast, so I'm just doing Bill Burr shit.
Yeah.
So just listen to his podcast.
Stop listening to this right now.
Just
Go listen to Bill Burr's podcast.
The fuck is wrong with you?
For me, I'm learning this week. I went out on Saturday with my oldest friend Alec, and at the ripe old age of 27, I'm finally learning how to drive stick shift.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I still don't know.
Yeah, I've never learned. I've always wanted to learn.
I want to learn too.
He took me out for like an hour and a half before I had to go to work on Saturday, and showed me how to we went to a parking lot and just practiced starting, and then
He wasn't
going
afraid of you
into
fucking up
shifting
his
gears.
gearbox?
No, he told me, he's like, there's nothing you can do to hurt this car. You'll be fine.
Wow.
So yeah, we just practiced and
I mean,
practiced.
modern gearboxes must be really hard to fuck up, right?
it was pretty easy to drive. It was not
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's good.
Once you get, it's like riding a bike. It's stupid and cliche, but once you know what you're doing and you know how to, once you consistently can start the car out of first gear, it's pretty easy. Obviously, I still made some goof ups. The more, you know what I mean, as we got on, but it got a lot easier after the first 20 minutes. So it's not difficult. But I'm learning how to do that. So that's not like really a fucked thing. But why we're fucked is because now I don't have a car of my own that's a stick to practice on, and I want one. So
see, manual transmission is a matter of personal expression.
Yeah, it's like
play some racing games. Play Dirt 3.
Yeah,
you can set it to manual transmission.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to for me, I want to practice. I want to go out and practice. And like the reason that I'm personally fucked is because I'm looking all over Craigslist for people who are selling cars. I found some. I'm going to message her. She's selling an 02 Civic, which is what I have now, but it's a 5-speed. And I'm just going to ask her how many miles are on it. She's selling the car for like $600.
Are you fucking
not
kidding
bad?
Me? There has to be something catastrophically wrong with that car.
She said, I just got a new car and I want it out of my driveway, is what she put in the post.
Yeah.
But it's an 02. Mine has like 200,000 miles on it. So I'm assuming that car does. But for $600, that's a car that I could drive for a year and practice on and then get something nice. So I'm fucked because, but the further problem is that I don't have the money to do that.
Sure.
I mean, I will have
at the moment.
I will have the money in 3 days to do that. But that money could be better suited towards, I don't know.
Right. Any of a billion other things.
Any of a billion debts that I have to pay off, and you know what I mean? Like, fixing the car that I have now. But I'm weighing my options. It's like, do I do this and practice now? Like by myself, or do I keep bothering my oldest friend to take me out on the weekend and show me how to do it?
Well, he doesn't mind, you know that.
I know he doesn't mind.
Take him out for a coney dog and an ice cream scoop.
Take
he'll be
him
happy.
my best gal.
Yeah,
Take him out and buy him a nice hot fudge Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen.
Scandalous.
Yeah, seriously, you think he's going to complain if you give him a peanut butter latte or something like that?
He's not. I feel I hate being in position.
He doesn't mind.
And I know he doesn't mind, and I know I'm not like I know I'm not embarrassing myself in front of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I'd like to. I don't know. I'd like to practice on my own and not look like such a dumbass when I'm. I feel like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like when you don't know how to do something and somebody who's does. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You feel stupid.
Of course.
I'm in the same situation right now with Counter-Strike.
No, it's like when you have when a grown man is being taught by another grown man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You at least want him to be like 25 years your senior, so you don't feel like a fuck up.
Right, exactly. But no, he's like...
Now we know how our parents feel when we teach them how to use computers.
Right, exactly. No, it's just, I want to... I'm probably going to message this person about the car, and if I can get it for $500, I'll probably buy it if it's not catastrophically broken.
So, hey, buddy, when you get that $500 car with your manual transmission, what do you say you take a Buddy Draghi out in it? I'll hook you up with an ice cream.
Hey, we can do that.
And the cycle continues.
That's how it works. No, but
we're gonna drive stick, and it turned out to be a very zen experience.
I fuck because I can't spend money. I mean, I can. I want to get some other bills.
That is like every week for me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if I wait on this now, then I have permission from myself when my tax return comes next year to buy something that I really like.
Right.
The other thing is, Alex not helping me because he's impulsive with his money too. Yeah. And he sent me a link to it was from the Hubbard buy sell trade page on Facebook.
Yeah.
Somebody's selling an '83 Z28 Camaro. Which is what my dad had one when I was younger, and I want it. And the guy's like, "Yeah, we put a new engine in it. I'm just trying to get rid of it." I'm like, "It's $2,500," and I'm like, I'm like,
it's anything in the thousands range. It's like it's so close.
It's so close. That is a payday loan away.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Oh,
right. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, they're trying to pass legislation in Ohio to make it harder to do that payday loan.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That shit takes advantage of poor people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's terrible, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys ever took a payday loan out.
Nope.
I have.
Mm-mm. I have not.
Oh, it fucking sucks. Because you go, it's fine, I'm getting paid in 4 days, and I really need this thing now.
Yeah.
And then you realize, I gotta give him like my whole paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh no, it's gonna happen again.
You know what it was? It was I remember very clearly. I was in college still, still living with my dad, and we were driving through the South Side, I think, and we pass a payday loan place, and he just turns to me at the next red light, like deadly serious, and goes, "You know those payday loan places?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Don't go there. That was all it took.
Didn't say anything else?
No, just Never go to those places.
Never go there, son. That's some great dad.
And I have not.
Yeah,
I have not. I mean, I asked him why, of course, and he explained, the interest and everything that it's a scam. It's an absolute scam.
Yeah. But it really looks good when you don't have money and want money.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
There's also sucking dick. It's
right.
Or selling one of my many guitars.
Yeah.
That are just sitting there.
Yeah.
I swear you were gonna say selling one of my many kidneys.
Yeah. One of my plentiful kidneys.
Just growing off of it.
That's right. I got 12 more.
I have a rare disorder that allows me to grow kidneys in a pouch on my stomach.
No,
I just pluck them when I'm ready to sell them.
No, I just I don't need to spend the money. The other reason we're fucking Better Call Saul ended. I'm sad.
Did it?
Yeah, I made that not forever, but for this season.
Okay.
Not forever.
I thought it was
it better not be over forever because woo.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make this a goal is to watch this.
I
very
recommend
soon.
that a couple episodes ago. Something you should watch. It just ended. This season was not a disappointment at all. It was very good.
Jesus.
Drug.
Well, I will tell you one reason that we are fucked, and it's actually kind of a backwards thing because it's actually, I'll explain. We are fucked because we are not drinking beer of remotely the kind of quality that we should be drinking.
But it is getting us drunk, and it does taste good.
Yes, it does. But when I went to Cincinnati this weekend to the Cincinnati Beer Festival hosted by Jungle Gyms, I tasted any odd variety of some of the most fantastic fucking beer I have ever had.
Well, sure, but any urban center nowadays, any major city, any minor city, including Youngstown, is going to be a hub for craft brewing.
Right.
Fuck nuts with ear gauges and fucking Rick Moranis glasses.
Yes.
Craft brewing, of course, better than craft pooing.
Right. Which is better than craft mac and cheese.
I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to walk that back.
I'm sorry. It popped into my head and I thought it was funny.
Oh my God.
Brew it.
I discovered something I didn't know, which is not only, I knew there were some good beers in Cincinnati. Anyone who's had Rheingeist, that's a Cincinnati beer. There's others of them as well. I know they make good beer in Cincy.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other ones aren't coming to mind. But what I also discovered is there's a ton of really good beer that isn't even in distribution outside of the city area.
Sure.
So you can get a bunch of it at local bars or restaurants. You can get it, at maybe grocery stores out there, but it doesn't come anywhere out this way.
Yeah.
Also, the sheer number of beers that they had there that, for example, I tried something by Southern Tier that will never be done again. And I was emotional drinking this little 3-ounce sip of it, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm so glad I got to take part in this.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It's like that old thought experiment of the guy who's walking along the beach and he's walking along a cliffside above the beach and he sees Picasso making an original Picasso in the sand down on the beach. He doesn't have enough time to run home and get his camera.
Yeah.
Is the experience any less for him not having something to capture it forever?
Yeah. That is called the concert, the modern concert conundrum.
Yeah, right.
In that if you don't capture it on your cell phone,
did you ever see it?
Did you ever see it at all?
Did it even matter?
That's what we're fucked. Put your fucking cell phones away.
Yeah,
concerts,
seriously.
you assholes.
I'm so tired of seeing that little white square.
Especially you fucks at the fucking Flight of the Conchords concert we were at last year.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Put your fucking good on the State Theater for telling them to put your phone away or get out.
There were people right to the front and left of us, right there.
Yes.
And it was just all I could see in the corner of my vision is just pulling. It's like a magnet for my eyes.
Well, and the guy was like, "Ma'am, don't do that."
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't put that away, or we're gonna have you get out of here.
Yeah. Be in the moment. Don't. Your brain is going to remember more from seeing the actual thing than it is from looking at it through a screen.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, we should be drinking better beer and more of it.
I agree.
That's my takeaway.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I even got to try something. This will be the last thing I say about it. There was at Bell's out of Michigan was there, and they had a mango habanero ale.
Wow.
That was thick. You couldn't see
Juicy.
through it. It was juicy as hell. It had that pepper bite, but it wasn't overwhelming. And that one is never, I think, he told me, is never going into distribution.
Wow.
It's going to be like a pub-only kind of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Bell's with their famous palsy ale.
God almighty.
I'm sorry. I'm on a roll tonight.
I'm not even going to follow that.
On that note,
Craft brewing with Bell's palsy.
Yeah, wow. Really some real zingers here.
on that note, we're gonna take our first intermission.
Make a nice piss.
We're like hockey. We have 2 intermissions.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
you
yeah,
ever
we
notice
are
that?
like- yeah, we are. Ooh.
And the second period is most crucial.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back with what we're schmurping and what we're derping.
Yeah.
In the meantime, enjoy whatever we put in the middle here.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be something to do with Bell's palsy. I don't know.
God, I hope not.
Bell's Palsy Awareness Month. We'll be right back.
We now return to another episode of Vaguely Mafiosa Pizza.
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Hey, not too bad. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, well, you got any specials on the menu?
Yeah, we're doing.
Was this Thursday?
It's Thursday. We're doing cheese. We're doing extra cheese.
That's the special for Thursday. It's just cheese.
That's it.
Or more cheese.
Cheese and more
What, are you
cheese.
fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not fucking kidding you. You know, you got a problem with my fucking cheese?
Oh, no, I didn't say that. I'm just saying it's like it's special. You know, the word special means maybe it's like special, like it's more than.
Listen, my
more
mom.
than like-
My mom made this fucking cheese. It is special. It's special to me. It's got.
Your mother
sentimental
made the
value.
cheese. Your mother made this cheese.
She fucking churns the cheese.
She's got a cheese churner in the back.
Yeah, she fucking churns cheese.
Has your mother?
My mother.
Your mother.
churns the fucking cheese.
You made it.
You
Tell
want
me
a
your
fucking
mother.
pizza or not?
I would like a pizza. Yeah, I'm just saying it's not like a special. It's like
Well, I mean,
it's regular. There's no toppings. What's that?
I mean, we got other stuff too. We got calzones with cheese.
Ooh,
We got milkshakes with cheese.
that sounds all right. I like that. Milkshakes and cheese.
We got diet sodas with cheese.
diet soda with cheese. I'll tell you what, just to be alive.
It's the cheesiest.
What a miracle.
It's the cheesiest here at Vaguely Mafia.
I like that.
It's the
That
best.
Sounds good.
It is
the
the
best milkshake.
Oh, this is my associate Tony. Don't look
Hey,
at me
hey,
guys.
Tony, Tony, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
This is my mentor, Mr. Lucchese.
Oh, that's great.
Hey,
That's
telling you all about the cheese milkshakes I hear.
Hey Tony,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing. How you doing?
I'm doing. I'm doing. How you doing?
I think it's,
I want to cook a fucking pizza.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Well, I was thinking about one of them milkshakes. It sounds
Yeah?
all right.
What a cheese milk? You want that on pizza? Are you
Yeah, I want a
fucking kidding
milkshake.
me?
You gonna get a milkshake pizza?
You can get milkshake pizza.
That's an option.
You can do whatever the fuck you want here.
Hey, Mr. Lucchese, let me confer with you for a second.
I'm sorry. I'll let you talk.
No, sorry. Bring it in here. Bring it in here.
A milkshake pizza? Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, I don't know. It's what the guy wants.
What the fuck?
It doesn't make any sense to me either. But
I got a better idea. How about I take this guy out back?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I take him out back. I take him out into the alley next to the dumpster with all them used condoms and diapers and everything.
okay, this is strange, but I'm with you still.
And I take one of those diapers, I blindfold him with it, right?
All right.
The smell is paralyzing him.
Right, I'm with you.
I take him and I punch his spine into the shape of a Japanese ancient symbol for power.
All right. Okay. Slightly was less with you.
No, it's good.
Okay.
So he thinks, right, that I've blessed him with all this magical ki energy, right?
All right.
But actually,
All right,
I
you
severed
can-
his spine in 7 places.
You're kind of losing me now, but I'm still there.
Okay.
Hey, you guys gotta shut up. I gotta make a wicked fart, but there's all these women around.
Hey, why don't you come in the back here? It's right down past the alleyway.
Thank you. I gotta make a huge fart,
right.
but there's so many women around.
No, wait,
I don't want them to hear me fart.
No, wait.
Jesus Christ, this guy's back here.
No, wait. He sounds like he needs the bathroom key, right? We only give the bathroom key to paying customers.
Right.
So since he ain't paid yet, so I give him a big round cartoon bomb, right?
Okay.
And right as he's going into the bathroom, he looks at it and his eyes just pop out of his skull, right? Like he's like, oh shit, this is a bomb. Like this is a big old cartoon bomb, and it blows his lips to the other side of it blows his lips to the other side of his head, just like that Daffy fucking Duck.
Tony, I'm gonna stop you right there.
What, Mr. Lucchese?
How many Looney Tunes you been watching? Are you actually back there like mixing the sauce? Or you actually just watching Looney Tunes?
I'm doing both. I'm a multitasker, Mr. Lucchese.
Really?
I
I
want
want to fart out here. Where's the bathroom key? I gotta fart.
wait for the bomb and the key. Wait for the key.
Tony, listen to me.
Yeah.
You sound like you've been taking a lot of drugs.
Look, Daffy Duck is my idol, Mr. Lucchese. I'm sorry. You've been like a father to me. But Daffy Duck has been like the crazy uncle who has an invention kit in his basement and just comes up with these crazy schemes.
What is this, Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium?
Yes.
Get the fuck back there and mix the fucking sauce. We don't got time for this Looney Tune Daffy Duck bullshit. This guy's gotta take a wicked fart.
I'm gonna fart on everyone.
Not all the women. He's gonna scare all the women
There's
away.
children too. They're gonna get farted
There's
at.
children too. He just wants a milkshake on his pizza.
Fuck. No, Mr. Lucchese. Scaring all the women away would be bad for our business, would it not?
Yeah, it would. It would be terrible.
Oh shit! I've got a lot to learn, Mr. Lucchese.
Yeah.
I am very sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Just be sure that you lay off the Looney Tunes.
Let me go and whip. I'll pull it out from behind my back. I'll whip it up. I'll spin it around, and it'll drop it on him and crush him like an anvil.
All right.
Too late. It's too late. Don't worry about the key. It's too late. Never mind.
Don't worry, Mr. Lucchese. I painted the front door. It's a brick wall, but I painted it to look like a front door.
You know what I think? I think you're a fucking Looney Tune. I think you need to just go in the back, grab the mop, and clean this guy's stool off of our front counter.
He took a shit on our counter?
Yeah, he took a shit. We're talking about fucking Looney Tunes and Daffy Duck. He's over here shitting on
It's
the
a
counter.
huge mess. You're gonna want to bring them up.
He didn't even pay for the milkshake
He ain't
pizza
even
yet.
left yet.
Welcome back
Hey.
to the Three Dudes
dong.
podcast.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
I'm your
Ding
host.
dong.
I'm your host. Still, Slam is my name,
I'm ding dong.
and Slammin' is my game.
Hosting is my game.
And before we get into our topic of discussion for this week, we enter a segment called "Here's What We're Slurpin'," and here's what we're dagalurpin'.
Here's what I'm Shatner, and that's what I'm Vulcan. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what I'm slapping, and here's what I'm I don't know.
Here's
Fuck
what
it.
I'm schnooping.
What are you?
Gabbing is forbidden.
What are you smoking there, hosty boy?
I'm smoking the cigar I said I was going to smoke in private last week, the Perla Del Mar.
Yeah.
yes.
my
The go-to.
favorite,
The old mainstay.
my favorite cigar.
Yeah.
Welcome to smoking culture, because now you officially have your own favorite.
Yeah.
I do.
You gotta have a favorite.
Now I haven't tried that many cigars.
Doesn't matter.
But I know that I like Perla Del Mar, so I will always go for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then it'll be like an old friend. If you ever find a new favorite, like I used to smoke the Hoya de Monterey, the Excalibur No. 3s, were my first mainstay. Because it was the first cigar I had, and it was the one that I knew that I liked the most. And then it was the Perdome, or the Padrones, Jose Padron.
Pardon.
The
excuse me's.
23 that you were into? Or?
That's the Perdomo. The Padrones are the 3000s, because everybody's got the 3000s, and they're good cigars for $6. And the Perdomo's the Lot 23s. It's my standard mainstay. I love that cigar. Yeah,
And I'm double fisting tonight. I got a snifter.
A snifter.
Of Ham's Boston Brewing.
Yes.
Which
created by-
miraculously is still in the keg.
Created by Drug.
Yep.
And Captain Coke.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That is Alex. Standard mainstay, Captain and Coke. That's his go-to drink.
It was for most of college when I was trying to get really drunk. If I was just trying to relax, it was good old gin and tonic.
Is that that's the 100 proof rum?
This is the 100 proof, yeah.
He's a good guy.
I can go through it slower.
Yeah.
And take my time with it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Super tasty.
Yeah.
I am smoking whatever this tobacco is that I bought a couple
We
months
still
ago.
don't really know.
It's like a mocha blend, but it doesn't taste like mocha. I think I described it before.
Yeah.
And I'm also drinking Ham's Boston Brew, and I still got a little bit of that wine upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
From the spaghetti last week. I might finish that off by the end of the night too. So.
Yeah, right. That was the Rex Goliath wine.
No,
Is it a Pinot?
It's a Walmart Pinot.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Rex Goliath. I bought it because of the rooster on the front when I first bought it. I'm like, that's cool. Look at that rooster.
It's a pretty big rooster.
Yeah, I guess he was a prize-winning rooster.
It's a big, hot, throbbing rooster. It's a swing.
I was wondering when we were going to go there.
It's a big old swinging rooster.
You know, I mean, with a name like Rex Goliath, you would hope the rooster would be a better than average size. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. It's a pretty generous pecker.
It's a yes! You are correct!
I am smorping my Marlboro Edge, but I also have a pipe full of really old, very stale vanilla Cavendish that I'm trying to talk myself into enjoying.
Smoke some of this.
I probably will. So I'm a mocha guy there.
Get rid of it for me, because I want to go buy something new.
Is the tobacco a little bit moist at all, or is it all dried up by now?
You know what? It was up until maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So now it's starting to dry. It's still good. It's not stale.
Okay.
But it's getting there. So
I'll
I
give
need
that a
help
go.
smoking it.
Okay.
I bought a little too much when I got it. I bought 6 ounces worth.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of pipe tobacco. It doesn't sound like it in the store.
Right.
That's a lot of pipe.
Well, it's all loose. It's real loose.
It's real loose. Yeah. It's real loose.
Yeah.
And then I'm also dorping Ham's Boston Brew.
Yeah. It's
probably
good.
have
I'm glad we're
several
going to be
glasses
drinking a whole shitload of this tonight. So
Oh, totally.
I wonder how much is left in that keg. We didn't really drink that much last
we can
week.
find out.
We're sure to find out.
Yeah.
We're going to get
We
there.
absolutely
I
will.
bet, I would like it for if we kill the thing on the show.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just keep doing this until it's gone.
Yeah. Fuck it. We'll just drink the beer. It's not me. This is pretty good.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's good thick head.
Yeah, nice thick head, big
Leaves a
juicy body.
leaves a white foamy residue on your
nice
mustache.
firm ass. Like a 10-year-old boy. That was my favorite.
Boy.
Did you ever see the movie?
Nope.
Did you ever see the movie True Lies?
No,
Oh no, I never have.
Oh, it's a great movie. So like,
I love Arnie. I got to at some point.
I didn't make that up. That's a description that this sleazy guy uses.
Yeah.
So like basically, Arnold Schwarzenegger thinks this guy is sleeping with his wife. And he's this sleazy used car salesman. And really, what this guy does is just trick women into thinking he's a secret agent.
Oh, okay. To sleep with them?
To sleep with them, yeah. And Arnold is a secret agent. And he's actually in the movie.
Yeah.
But like he goes and not confronts this guy, but just sniffs him out. Like goes up to the dealership, and the guy is like taking him on a test drive of this car, and he's talking about his wife, and he's going, I got this new one now. You know, she's one of those like nerdy but real hot types.
Yeah.
Ass like a 10-year-old boy. I always thought that was just the sleaziest description of
It sure
it's
is.
so like uncomfortable.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Like,
something.
whenever I break that out, people always look at me like, "What?" I have to explain myself.
Wait,
no, I swear to God, this
I said like a 10-year-old boy.
like a 10-year-old. I don't know. Like, we're not looking at him.
I just I imagine what a 10-year-old might. Okay, anyway,
Let's go.
Let's really, we've got enough.
Let's take a left turn.
We've spent proportionally an eighth of the episode on 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, you know what?
It's probably time to move on.
I'm noticing that through the course of the history, I'm always the one that just goes.
Find the line, walk across.
Yeah,
it.
just tipping a toe across it, just
Yeah.
going like,
That's your role here.
That's my role here. My role here is to make everybody at this bar feel uncomfortable.
You are the best, buddy.
I'm pretty good at it. How much can I get away with before somebody reports me to the police? Or
I guess we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
We will absolutely.
We
find
got
out.
plenty of time to try that out on this podcast.
So speaking of high octane. Testosterone fueled movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I guess not so much because it is absolutely a cinematic classic.
Okay.
On this day,
Yeah.
in history, I wish I could remember what year. I want to say 1977. Jaws was released.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We all know Jaws, the classic tale of masculinity told through the lens of hunting a shark.
One of the 4 archetypical stories, of literature: man versus shark.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Man versus sea beast.
It's man versus self, man versus shark, man versus artificial intelligence that wishes to jettison him into space, and man versus dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are the only stories that there are.
Ever.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's the hero's arc.
That's what I thought.
Now, we all know Jaws. Great movie.
Yes.
Phenomenal. The whenever I think of Jaws, there's 2 parts that stick out the most to me in my mind.
I know what one of them is.
Is the part with the where they simultaneously track the camera towards Roy Scheider and also zoom it out at the same time.
Yeah.
To create that weird stretchy effect.
That's the Goodfellas shot. I guess I didn't realize that Jaws did it. The scene where they're in the diner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The pullback.
No, yeah. Jaws did it first, I believe.
That's awesome. I didn't know
When
that.
he realizes there's a shark in the water, and it does that.
long
It's one where he stands bolt upright and takes his glasses off or something like that. Or
Yeah, he's just still sitting there, and it just it zooms on his face while the camera tracks away from him.
Yeah.
I got
cool.
it backwards the first time.
That's my favorite. That is my favorite scene in the movie when he's chumming the water and he's smoking the cigarette.
Yeah.
And the shark comes up and bites him.
Yes.
And he hits that. He flings his head up to the side like that.
Yeah.
That is one of the best shots in
So
cinema
perfect.
history. Just-
and then my other favorite part, of course, of that movie is Quint's monologue about the USS Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It fucking bone chilling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I told you guys you were there. In fact,
Yeah.
I went to see for Father's Day one year. Went with my dad to see Jaws in one of those Fathom events things.
It was like the AMC it was like American Movie Classics reissue in theaters or live broadcast in theaters.
Yeah, but the point is you get to see Jaws on the big screen.
Right.
It's fucking cool.
And the best part is it's full of movie lovers.
Yeah.
So no one's got their cell phones out. No one's fucking talking.
Yes,
Yes.
that's great.
And so during that monologue, everyone is just glued to that screen, like you're listening to your granddad tell a horror story.
Yeah.
You know? It was beautiful.
The audience applauded at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
It's
they
something
did.
You just don't get that often.
You don't
see it that much anymore.
It's
You don't
great
see
to
it
see
that
that kind of enthusiasm.
And of course, if there's a suspense movie that deserves applause, it is Jaws. Jaws is fantastic in every way.
Yeah.
But that's not our topic. Our topic.
What is our topic?
Our topic is those movies you go to see in theaters. They've got some big names in them.
Yeah.
And they turn out to be absolute shit. So I'm going to ask you the worst movie you've ever seen, but with the caveat that
it was hyped.
yeah, you can't. You're not allowed to use Tommy Wiseau. You're not allowed to use Neil Breen.
It's got to be like a legit
Like a
movie.
flop.
yeah.
Not like
Oh,
bad
man.
movie camp.
Boy, I got 2 right off the top of my head to lay
Yeah,
on.
me
you for
too.
this.
I'm gonna have to think about this one a minute, so I'm glad that you guys have some in mind.
Yeah, I got.
Now I have 3 in mind.
Okay.
One of them I didn't finish.
Okay.
It was the only movie in theaters that I've ever walked out of, and that was Stomp the Yard.
Ah, yes.
I'm sure you remember
Yeah.
in the early
I
2000s.
don't remember this.
that craze where it was like
breakdancing movies.
yeah, breakdancing, drumline,
Cheerleading.
like, that vein.
Stomp,
the yard.
There's a colon in there, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Dave,
never mind.
there's a colon in there.
Yeah, there's a colon in there. The Dave Dragowski story.
Yeah,
That's true. There's
yeah.
a colon in there.
There is a colon in there.
I don't
not for another 20 years or so, but there is a colon in there as of right now.
a colon. Wait, yes.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
I assume Stomp the Yard refers to stomping as you dance.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. But it was simultaneously the funniest and worst thing I've ever seen in theaters. because what had happened was, first of all, the theater was packed full.
Okay.
And it was packed full of exactly the kind of idiot you'd expect to go see a breakdancing movie.
Okay.
My friend from high school pressured me and my brother into going to see it. And I was like, man, I don't want to. I don't care.
Oh man, come on! All the cool kids are going to see Stomp the Yard.
Stomp
Come
the
on,
Yard,
man.
yeah.
We're gonna be a pussy.
So
Go see Stomp the Yard, man.
So it opens with a break. I don't know what teams of breakdancers are called. If they're a troupe, if they're a
gaggle, perhaps.
a cadre,
A murder.
A murder of breakdancers.
So it's this cyclone of breakdancers, and they
a cyclone of breakdancers.
And they're in a competition, and it expositions that, you know, the main character, like his older brother, is their I don't know, their poobah, their chief. And so they win the contest, and the other team is like, you know, yo man, what, you know, they start like, you know,
they got a front, you know.
They're fronting, you know. So and then like they go out of the building and everything, and the other team comes up to them, and they got guns, and so they shoot the guy's brother.
Jesus Christ!
Wait, hold on.
In a movie about dancing?
Let me just make sure I understand this.
Yeah.
He breakdanced real good, and they got mad and they shot him.
They shoot the protagonist's older brother.
Is there any dumber thing to shoot someone over that you can think of?
Now this is where the stupid kind of branches off into two separate things. In the movie, basically, the protagonist, the main character, this younger brother, the very next scene is like, you know, fast forward, he's going to college now. It's like, you know, breakdancing only hurts the ones I love. I will never break dance again for as long as
a long time ago.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then someone brings it back into it. It's like, you know, it's like, no, I gave that up. I gave that up a long time ago.
Oh, God.
Man, you know,
this is fucking painful second half.
I gotta tell you, it's been over 15 years since I busted a move. I don't know if I have it in me.
Now that you want it. Now that was one of the reasons that me and my brother walked out and played House of the Dead in the lobby for the next hour.
Yeah, there you go.
That was way better.
It was much more fun.
Yeah.
Bonding experiences, by the way.
So that's about as far as you made it.
That was about as far as I made it.
I don't blame you.
The other reason we walked out was because after the dude got shot, someone in the crowd shouted, "Damn, that guy didn't even get 10 minutes of the fucking movie," and everyone started laughing and shouting and going nuts. You couldn't hear, you know, what the fuck was going on. It was just chaos. And then, you know, as soon as everything started to die down a little bit, someone else shouted, "Shut up, damn!" And it started again.
Wait, so you have an unruly crowd of people who can't
big unruly mob.
Yeah. Who can't even watch the fucking movie.
Nope.
That's a great reason to leave a movie.
Yeah,
and actually ask for your fucking money back.
And again, the theater was packed. I did. We asked our friend for the money back.
Yeah.
And he gave it to us.
Yeah. God, it sounds terrible.
It was maybe the worst theater going experience I've ever had. As far as ones that I've actually seen in theaters, though, do you remember a movie? It's a suspense horror kind of thing. It's called Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
Starring.
Did you go to see that movie?
I went to see Jennifer's Body. Now, in my defense.
Okay.
In my defense, this was with two friends of mine from high school.
Yeah.
And we knew going in this movie was probably gonna suck.
Yeah.
It's Megan Fox's mannequin-looking ass.
Yeah. Oh, God, can we stop pretending like Megan Fox has anything to offer the American man?
Yeah. I just don't see it.
I'm not getting it. I'm not. You know, and she's got the weird toe.
Yeah, on the toe thumb.
The weird toe thumb.
Oh yeah.
You know, far be it from me to spend a lot of time berating women for their looks, but I will berate them for a toe for a thumb.
Well, and like it wouldn't. I like everybody. I made myself laugh there. No,
I'm not sure that's true.
she's an asshole. Let's just clarify that she's a
person?
as a person.
Is she
yeah.
an
Really?
asshole as a
She's an
person?
asshole. She's a prude. So I don't have any.
Okay.
I don't have any like conundrum about.
I don't know anything about Megan Fox as a person.
She's not a good person.
Okay.
She's stuck up. She's arrogant. I don't give a fuck about Megan Fox.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about Shia LaBeouf's stupid ass.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about any Transformers movies that come out in the future.
Yeah.
Let's be clear on that.
I'm gonna go further and say if I have to watch Mark Wahlberg in another movie, I'm gonna shit.
Yeah. What's up, Transformers?
Now I already know what you're gonna say. But yeah, Megan Fox, Jennifer's Body was an incomprehensible mess.
Yeah. About Jennifer and her body.
About Jennifer and her body.
What happens with her body?
Well, it gets full of men.
Oh, really?
Not in that way. But Megan.
Wait,
Megan,
in what way?
Megan Fox is a demon that eats men.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Presumably by her vagina.
No, by her mouth.
Oh.
So she
Like she literally eats
She doesn't
them.
suck men up inside of her vagina and then garble them up and then spit them back
I'd be
out.
far more interested
No.
in just farting behind the
Though I'm sure that's somebody's fetish.
Yeah.
No, I
be eaten alive.
would watch that movie. That sounds like a Bruce Campbell movie if I've ever heard of it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Jennifer's Body. We were the only ones in the theater too, so we got to laugh and make fun of it. We
Yeah.
got to milk that shit for all it was worth.
Sometimes those are fun when you get to do
Oh,
that.
they're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, sometimes when you pay money to go see a shitty movie,
Yeah.
it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer's Body. I barely remember anything about it except for the ending was shit, and also there's this one part where like the big apish idiot football captain has just lost his best friend to Megan Fox's gaping maw.
Megan Fox's gaping maw.
Now nobody knows she's a man-eating monster.
Right.
She's a big man eating monster.
Hey, we want to say that to the mic, buddy?
Yeah, sorry, I'm pouring more beer all over your floor. Hold on.
Now,
cool.
Now, no one at this point knows that Megan Fox is the so. When it gets to his reaction, it starts out with a distant shot of him, and then like this shaky track shot while this heavy metal rock is playing. Like he's just standing in the football field with his hands in his pockets. It's just it like zooms in on him,
right.
And when it finally stops, the music cuts out, and like a single tear rolls down his cheek. Like,
so stupid.
Wow.
And I've thought to myself, there's no way they made this movie completely without the intent of it being hilarious, because it was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure.
That sure isn't the way it was marketed, man. That's the thing.
No.
I remember seeing trailers and not knowing, first of all, that it was about that. I just thought, this is a movie where you maybe get to see Megan Fox's boobs for a minute,
Yeah.
and then there's some murder or something, and that's all I had any idea about.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Did you get to see her boobs in it at all?
I don't remember. If
Probably no, then.
If you do, I think I was probably unimpressed by them. Be honest.
Seriously, someone if you're listening to this right now and you don't know about Megan Fox's toe thumb,
Look that shit up.
Google
Or
that
that's a
toe thumb.
recommendation.
Or
if I ever heard one.
her fucking dead, soulless eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Like a doll's eyes.
Only
Bringing it back home.
only come alive when they're tearing right through you.
callbacks.
So let me just
Anyway, we delivered the bomb.
let me just interject something here.
Okay.
Yeah,
We were talking about
please do.
Stomp the Yard earlier.
Okay.
Right.
A great spoof on that type of movie genre that I recommend everybody go out and watch is either of the Pitch Perfect movies.
I have not seen
They're funny.
either of them.
They're funny.
I don't know
good?
what that is.
It's a movie. It's basically making fun of that era of movies where it was like the drumline movies or the breakdancing movies, like the stupid like stuff that teenagers would pay to go see.
Right.
It's about a cappella groups, but it's a spoof on that stupid genre.
Right.
And
Acapella groups.
it's really funny. It's really funny, but it's
Is David Cross in one or both of those?
Yes, he is. He's in the second one.
Okay.
But it's a movie that's super aware of itself, and
Yeah.
they poke fun at that whole genre. So
I've heard of it. I've never realized it was a spoof.
it's a spoof. It's funny.
It's
It's,
a-
really
okay.
funny.
It's a spoof.
It's really funny. Yeah, it's a spoof.
A spoof and a goof.
It's actually
You
a.
having a laugh?
I think it's a Tina Fey and Amy Poehler movie. Actually, at least the first one was written.
Oh
by
no
Tina
shit!
Fey.
Well, now I automatically.
Yeah,
want to see it.
you'll like it. It's really funny.
Oh, my.
So that's like the good version of the stupid stomp the yard kind of genre.
It is weird how many of those movies there were, though.
Yeah.
Because there were a bunch of them, and I'm sure, without having seen most of them, the plots were entirely interchangeable.
If I remember right, Bring It On, which was the cheerleading one, it had like 2 sequels.
Yes, good. Bring it on and bring it on again. Bring it on
Once more time.
Once more. Bring it on a 4th time.
Yeah, I like. Wait, I didn't get that. Could you please bring it back?
And then
Bring it on, Sam, for old time's sake.
And then we can't forget. I know what you did to bring it on. Again.
This time it's on Broadmoor.
Even more bringing. 10 times the on.
No, that's.
Do you like watching high school girls in short skirts, you fucking weirdo?
Yeah, you fucking creep. Come watch this movie.
No, that's that's a little early recommendation for you guys. Watch Pitch Perfect. It's really fun.
Okay.
My brother used to love Drumline, but that was only because he liked drumming.
Actually,
He was a drummer.
I'm poking fun at Drumline. It's actually a pretty good movie.
Really?
It gets consistently good.
I've never
reviews.
seen it.
Yeah, my dad actually really likes that movie. It's actually based on I can't remember the name of the schools, but there's a college football game that they play every year, and it's the 2 best drumline schools in the country, and they do like a little.
Is one of them? They call their drumline Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah,
I think.
that's
I forget what they because
I can't remember.
It's all African American students.
Yeah,
they call themselves Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah, it's 2 black
I
schools.
only think of diarrhea when I hear chocolate thunder. Am I the only person?
Oh God. Yes.
Okay. All right. Noted.
Yes, you are.
I will never say that
Duly
to another
noted.
person.
I wish I could remember what that school was, but
Yeah, no, it's we'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Well, now if you remember, Remember the Titans came out around that time too. There was like a big like high school extracurricular activities phase that happened around that time.
Yeah.
One of the great football movies.
All I remember
the Titans.
is one of the
Yeah.
sides was strong. That's all I remember.
We are the Titans.
Yeah.
Mighty Titans. What a good football movie. Nothing better than a good football movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rudy.
Rudy! I was gonna say Rudy.
Fucking the Water Boy.
The Water Boy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's good stuff. I have a couple bad movies.
Okay.
These are movies. The 2 that I'm gonna list. I'm gonna list 2 that were severely hyped.
Bonus points if you saw it in theaters.
I
Yeah,
did.
right.
Both of them. Both of these movies I saw in theaters. Both of them are Oscar winners.
What?
Oh, I can guess one of them.
One of them. I'm gonna start.
Bad Oscar winners.
Bad Oscar winners.
I'm so into that.
there-
And I know for a fact that you're on the same page with me for one of these.
There have been some.
Okay.
Sideways.
Starring
Paul Giamatti.
Never saw it.
I have feelings about this movie as well.
So here's the thing. That movie.
Give me a breakdown of this movie because I've never seen it.
Yeah.
A
like
very
rough plot
depressed
synopsis.
Paul Giamatti who has been.
Otherwise known as Paul Giamatti.
So yeah, a very Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, just Paul Giamatti.
He's a wine aficionado who is now become an alcoholic since his wife has left him a couple years ago.
Gee whiz, it's almost as though drinking wine for a living gives you a dependency.
Yeah, right. But his best friend, who is an arrogant douche lord,
and much more attractive.
Okay, wait. How much of an arrogant douche lord do you have to be an arrogant douche lord compared to a wine aficionado?
Correct.
You're right. That's a good point.
Just a cocksucker. Like, this guy just plays such an asshole. I guess he does a good job of playing an asshole, but he's getting married, and they're going out to They're going out to Napa to like tour the wineries and get drunk. And this guy who's getting married, his whole thing is he wants to get laid one last time before he gets married.
Yeah, right.
So he wants to go like slumming around.
They're kind of unlikable right at the start.
Both of them are unlikable people. Both of them are unlikable people. Paul Giamatti's this depressed guy who gets really drunk on wine all the time and calls his ex-wife, who is already married to somebody else, and has children with somebody else, who's like moved on completely.
But the difference between this, I'd imagine, and like Always Sunny is that you're supposed to root for the unlikable person.
Correct.
Whereas in Always Sunny, you don't mind when they get what they deserve because they're horrible people.
You still kind of like them too. That's the thing.
Sure.
It's Always Sunny does a masterful thing that I think few shows like Seinfeld and probably Shameless. I haven't watched a lot of that.
It's a podcast about nothing.
Right? Did it end with that? Yeah, did it end with that? Where he goes, sometimes I want to go where everybody bum, 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 bum.
We're just going to this.
Sorry, this is not funny.
We're moving on up where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, that show.
To the east side.
But yeah, like,
Believe it or not, I'm moving on up where everybody knows my name.
No, but okay, so like to do this skillfully takes work. A really good writing staff can take characters that are basically unlikable and still make you root for them.
Right.
This is not the case.
This is not the case. So my biggest problem with this movie is that it was billed as a comedy.
Yes,
it was billed as a comedy.
Oh, and is it not?
It is not funny.
It's extraordinarily
In fact, it is depressing.
Yeah.
So I went to go see this movie with my mom when I was like 15, which is already weird. Like whenever it came out, 14 or 15.
Right.
And I watched it, and we like left the theater.
Yeah.
Halfway through the movie, we're like, she's like, "Do you want to leave?" And I'm like, "Yeah, kind of. This is not funny."
Yeah.
Like and you can see the parts of the movie that are supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
But they're just not. They just land flat every single time.
The trailer's even built it as kind of funny, but
Yeah.
the problem is. It's an indie art house kind of funny, which is to say you don't laugh.
Which is to say it's not funny.
It struck me as like a Judd Apatow kind of like quirky.
It is not.
Sort of.
It's not. So let me put this in context with you. There's a scene in the middle of this movie where they're getting drunk. They picked up these two women at this bar. One of them's a server. The other one is just some lady who the fucking asshole that he's doing this trip with picked up and is gonna go fuck later.
Right,
sure.
And Paul Giamatti's sitting there and they're making small talk and he just keeps ordering wine to the table. He keeps ordering bottle after bottle after bottle and he's sitting there hammering them down. And everybody's having conversations around him and then it like cuts into Paul Giamatti. This is a comedy, by the way. And it's just him and the background noise is kind of blurred around him as he's getting more and more drunk and he's like hammering it back and he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and his friend's like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. I just really got to go to the bathroom. And he goes to the back of the bar and goes to a payphone and calls his ex-wife and has this, like, depressing, pitiful conversation, and she hangs up on him. And then he goes back to the table and is like, I think I'm just going to go. I think I'm just going to go. And, like, the other guy's like, no. Like, he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I'm trying to fuck, you know what I mean? Like, this is a comedy movie. And it's still like,
that's like that a lot. A lot of the movie is that where it's like you can see the potential for something interesting to happen,
right?
And then it's just him being depressed.
It's just him being depressed.
I think there was one scene towards the end of the movie. I don't care about spoiling this movie because it's spoiled as is.
Yeah.
Where he it's what, like 10 years old?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, older. Yeah.
I think he ends up the buddy, the guy that's getting married ends up like in a farmhouse somewhere in the middle of nowhere, California. Fucking like this married
you're getting married.
This married older fat lady or something like that, and that's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And it just no part of it. I think he's running around with his dick out at one point or something. I forget.
They're just bad people being bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
it wasn't redeemable with any kind of path.
And at the end of it, the guy does get married. Paul Giamatti runs into his ex-wife at the end of the. I know this because I tried again later.
Yeah,
I rented the movie and I watched it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And it just did not get any better at all. It was just consistently bad through the whole. It wasn't like it like came up and then dropped, and it wasn't like it started here and then dropped. It just was like this flat line of bad all the way through.
Yeah.
Like you kept waiting for something to happen and it doesn't.
That won an Oscar?
It did.
For what?
Paul Giamatti won an Oscar, I believe, for that. For his role as like this sad guy who's supposed to be funny but isn't.
I mean, if he did a good job,
he did. I mean, I'll give you that, but it wasn't a comedy.
Yeah,
it wasn't even an effective drama because I didn't care about anybody.
Oh yeah.
Like there. I guess the artistic like final scene is him. He keeps talking this whole movie about this big Pinot Noir that he's had saved.
Big Pinot, huh?
Big Pinot.
He's got a nice big Pinot in his basement.
But no, it's like him talking about this thing that he's been saving forever. It's this like several thousand, tens of thousands of dollars worth bottle of wine.
It's got a nice fat cork.
And he's like, he's at a diner somewhere, and he uncorks it, and he's drinking it out of a coffee mug, and that's like the big art house finale. And it's just a big, fat, stinking pile of dog shit. And it got like, Roger Ebert gave it like 4 stars when it came out. It got this big hype.
Yeah.
And I was so happy when, years later, I went online and read the reviews, and people are like, yeah, this movie fucking sucks. I don't know why everybody gave it this big, like, great review. Like, this movie is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like, and there's, like, lots of people reviewing it years later, and they're like, yeah, this is pretentious dribble.
I love
like,
when people figure it out later.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's such a bad movie. So yeah, that's the first one. If you ever want a bad time, watch Sideways. The second,
you know me, I'm always looking for a bad time.
The second one that I'm going to bring up is another Oscar-nominated, an Oscar-winning movie. I think it won Best Picture, actually.
Shut up.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Crash?
It is Crash.
Yes!
I haven't seen Crash.
So, the moral of Crash is racism is bad, the end.
Correct.
Oh, right.
So it is this fucking... I guess it would make more sense now, I think, than it made sense 15 years ago when it came out.
Well,
but even then, it still is liberal fucking pansy garbage. It is this
kind of shit that makes you like feel bad to be a liberal person.
Yes, it's just this shitty fucking mess of like
hand holding lesson teaching.
Yes.
Now it's been a long time since
it's been a long time. Now I'm making shitty movies about racism. But wait!
Now I haven't seen it in a while.
Here, let me get you.
I gotta be very careful with my phrasing so we don't set off one of those again.
Phrasing?
But phrasing. But it follows the stories of many different people, right?
Correct.
And those were kind of all the rage in like the Audies.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like not to derail a topic, but a movie that did a better job of what Crash did was Babel.
Yeah, Babel was really good.
Never saw that either.
That's a good
Babel
movie,
was
yeah.
phenomenal.
It's a good movie.
It was woefully underrated. It's one of those things where, you know, it follows a bunch of different stories and then, you know, everything kind of connects, you know.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing, I feel like, back in those days. Vantage Point was another big one.
Yeah.
You know, it's a cheesy action movie. It was fun.
But yeah, no, it's Crash does a really shitty job. And it's like 6 stories that are separate but equal in the vein of sorry.
Yes, separate but equal.
God almighty.
You know.
Oh, Love Actually was the other movie I was thinking of.
Yeah,
a bunch of different stories. It was all right for a rom-com. It was okay.
Yeah, but you know, Crash is all these stories that come together at some point, and it's Don Cheadle as Don Cheadle. It's just, like in every movie,
wide-eyed middle-aged black man.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I don't even remember what the main story was. I remember there was a car accident. I remember you get to see.
You mean someone crashed?
Yes.
Aren't I a little smarty?
The fucking symbolism, though.
What's her name? Not Ava Longoria. I can't remember her name.
Ava,
Hispanic woman. Help me.
Salma Hayek?
No.
No,
I can't remember her. I'll look it up later. We'll talk about it. But
I prefer if we go into this being wrong about
the highlights of these movies.
Evangeline Lilly?
Might have been. I'll have to look it up. The highlight of these movies, of which there are 3. Don Cheadle being Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
There's a car accident at some point, and you get to see this woman's breasts. That's
okay.
it. That's all I remember.
Woo!
That's all I remember because I was 15 when I watched the movie. So,
Is it that old?
And I remember I almost fell asleep in the theater. Again, I went to go see this with my mom. Poor choices that we made in that era. Yeah.
I watched the 40-Year-Old Virgin with my mom once.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Yeah, me too.
Awkward.
We both. Yeah, really awkward.
It got real heartwarming towards the end.
Yeah.
It was good movie. It gets real heartwarming towards the end.
We both
Getting past the part about fucking a donkey in Tijuana was real weird.
The big old alligator dick. I remember that part.
It's like you get there and it's a woman fucking a donkey.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's exactly what you'd think.
But yeah, no,
good movie, but
yeah, that's all I remember about Crash. I don't know.
Don't watch it with your mom.
Don't watch it with your mom.
Don't watch that. That's a recommendation right now. Don't watch 40-Year-Old Virgin with your mom.
Too late.
You'd have a bad time.
Yeah, we've never had many negative recommendations on the show.
No.
Like, don't do this.
Yeah, well, maybe we're gonna have to bring that up.
Maybe today.
Flip that around a
Yeah.
little
Oh, yeah. You have to tell us whether or not to watch Bad Johnson. Save that for
I will save
Save
that
it, save
for
it.
later.
Yeah.
bit. Do save it.
But yeah,
'Cause I'm curious.
Crash. That's the only three things I remember about Crash. We saw that one in the theater. I don't remember the story. Again, that was another one I looked up later.
Yeah.
And I'm reading other people's reviews online years later, and they're going, yeah, this is a big fat pile of dog shit. This movie is not that good. Why did it win Best Picture? It's terrible.
Yeah.
And the third one that I want to bring up, and I'm going to make this brief so we can hand it over to Drog here.
Yeah.
Again, another movie I saw in the theater with my mom. We went to go see the remake of The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. Now, let me just preface this by saying the original Wicker Man, the BBC production, very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Nicolas Cage, and this is a trend with Nicolas Cage movies, ladies and gentlemen at home. Watch any of his movies post Matchstick Men.
Oh, yeah. I like Matchstick Men.
I
actually really like that movie.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's actually one of my favorite
Ridley
movies.
Scott, too.
Haven't seen it.
That's a
I'm
really
afraid.
good movie. It's a really good movie.
There's so many good ones, and Matchstick Man it's a crime drama, isn't it?
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
Kind of, comedy drama.
They're like con artists,
Yeah,
right?
they're con artists.
Okay, so it's like
And it's-
in the vein of Snatch, in the vein of like a Guy Ritchie kind of.
Yeah. But it's the only movie that I can think of Nicolas Cage not playing Nicolas Cage. He actually does a very good job of acting that character. He's got neuroses, so he's got lots of tics.
Yeah.
And he's what's the hypochondriac.
Yeah, right.
So he does that role very, very well.
Yeah.
So, but anything post Matchstick Men that Nicolas Cage did, I feel like goes the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It's this intense story that you get deeply sucked into for the first 3/4 of the movie, and then it falls apart in the last 25 minutes.
Okay.
So The Wicker Man does this in explosive fashion. And it's right about the time in the movie that Nicolas Cage puts on the bear suit.
Yeah.
If you just go on YouTube and type in Nicolas Cage bear suit, you'll see what I'm talking about.
No, it's sooner than that. It's when he's about to confront that woman.
Yeah.
About the thing, and instead he just
Punches her in the face.
Punches her
That
right
was
into
it.
a wall.
That was it. So we watched,
and then it gets worse from there.
because I remember my mom and I were like, okay, what's going on? Because we're sucked into the movie. It's really good for the first 3/4 of it, and then that's it. It's that scene where he just walks up to her and punches her. And I remember we're in the theater. There's people in the theater with us, and he punches that woman. And at the same time, my mom and I both bursted out laughing, just like in the theater. We just went, yeah. And we're going, okay. And then he puts the bear suit on, and we're both going. We're like pointing at the screen, like, and we're laughing and we're like talking to each other, and
it's amazing.
We can see people in the theater getting mad at us because it just keeps getting funnier. And by the time, spoiler alert, if you've never seen The Wicker Man, by the time that movie's ending and they're putting the cage on his head and dumping bees into him, and he's going, "Not the bees!"
Part of a balanced breakfast.
Yeah, killing me won't bring back the goddamn honey.
Now, the original Wicker Man.
Yeah.
With Christopher Lee as
Yes.
the bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Good. Very good. That's why I was excited because my mom was like, "Oh, this is she said this is based off of another movie. Have you ever seen it?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." I remember my dad and I watching that years earlier because that was made in the '80s. But like we by the time that movie was over, there's like a scene like, what are you doing? There's one, I shit you not, there's a line in that movie where the screen goes dark when they're like beating him up before they put him up into the top of that
that's
thing.
not in the director's cut. They show the whole thing, but
No, they do, yeah. They cut to black in the theater in the original one, and he's going, "What are you doing to my legs?" And then you hear a crunch, and he goes, "Ah!" And we're sitting in the theater in tears,
crying,
just
laughing.
like doubled over. We're crying, laughing.
the director's cut shows that, and I don't understand why they cut it because it's not like
right.
It's a horror movie, and a dude gets his legs broken. Like,
come on,
come the fuck on!
No,
like
we
tickets for a bunch of pansies.
We ruined that movie for the rest of the movie theater, and that is an example of a bad movie that was a positive experience where we just laughed.
Oh yeah,
it was worth it just for the last 25 minutes.
Oh my god! I wish I still haven't seen that movie.
It's a good movie.
I really want to see it. I really want to see
You're gonna love the first. You're gonna love the first couple like a third of it.
I do believe I have it on DVD because my parents had it.
Yeah.
And I still have it, I believe, on DVD.
We'll watch them both. We should watch the original and the remake.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
As a comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
Drog films?
Okay, so I've been really, really choosy about movies for a long time, as you guys might know.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So I don't see a lot of movies. And I really don't see a lot of them in the theater, usually because by the time I'm ready to go see something in the theater, I've heard enough about it that I know it's good. I'm not even going to take a chance.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time coming up with one for this list. But I will, if you'll let me, I want to talk for a moment about The Happening.
Thank you.
Because
thank you.
Happening.
It's one I saw The Happening in theaters. I held off because I was hoping you were going to bring it up.
Yeah, okay, so when you said that to me, I went, oh, that's one. When you said, oh, I know what you're going to say, I went, oh, we have to talk about The Happening.
We got to talk about The Happening.
So,
because, oh my God.
It's so extraordinarily, fantastically, creatively bad. It's bad in ways that bad movies don't even think to be bad.
Yeah.
It's so incredible. And I feel like we're talking about this now, almost anyone listening to this has probably heard enough about The Happening to know what it is.
Yeah.
But I still want to talk about it anyway.
Do it.
Yeah, by all means.
First of all, it stars someone I hate so much. Mark Wahlberg.
Marky
Got
Mark.
those good vibrations!
I just hate him so
Real
much.
talk, that song is lit as fuck.
Yeah.
I do still like that song.
Yeah.
It's that fucking piano, man.
Yeah.
He's just the thing about him that I hate the most is that he has one fucking face, and nowhere does he make only one facial expression more than in The Happening.
Yeah.
Which is constantly this bewildered, something smells funny, kind of upturned nose, crinkly thing.
What's going on?
He's looking like,
what's up, Goat?
yeah,
It's like being a goat.
yeah. Say hey to your mother for me.
Say hey to your mother for.
Yeah. I forgot about
The only movie that I love him in is The Departed because he's really good.
Yeah.
He's real good at
Yeah.
The Departed.
I still haven't.
I'm the
seen
guy who
The
does his
Departed.
You
job.
haven't seen The Departed.
I haven't seen The
Oh
Departed.
God, what's wrong with you? I love that movie.
What did I just tell you? I don't watch that many movies.
Man, we are gonna. That is gonna be a mission on
Departed won
Doomsday.
Best Picture, did it?
Yes,
not?
it did.
Yeah.
That is going to be a
it
mission of
deserved it.
Doomsday from now on. We're gonna recommend each other great movies and watch them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, just wait now.
Yeah, you just wait because I have something planned too.
Okay. So anyway, the Happening. If you haven't seen this movie, it begins with essentially a math teacher at a New York high school explaining how
What's up, kids? You learn some math?
How's it going? Huh?
You like math? You fucking like math?
Hey,
that's great.
Do you like 2?
What makes these good vibrations so good, huh?
Hey, you guys like 4? I love 4. It's fucking great.
Four. It's my fucking favorite. Your father ever beat you with a studded belt?
So it's Mark Wahlberg as a math teacher, and he's entirely uncharismatic within the first 10 minutes.
Can I use the bathroom? Go fuck yourself.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You think you have authority over me?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself,
Go
kid.
fuck yourself. I was in Transformers after Shia the Beef.
I hate him so much.
Yeah.
What happens is he and his daughter or what is it? He's supposed to
Estranged family unit.
Yeah, he's got like an estranged maybe ex-wife or something like that, and he's got his daughter with him.
Yeah.
And they're in New York when something starts happening. It happens, you could say. It's almost a happening.
Some kind of occurrence.
It's like an event. It's like a
series of unfortunate events.
It's like
by Lemony Snicket.
Yeah, like that.
I don't know.
So describe what the horror is. How are these people fucking dropping dead all over the place?
It's so stupid. You just see some people just stop walking in the middle of the streets and just look at like nothing. They just freeze.
1,000-yard stare.
And then all of a sudden, like a cop takes his gun out and blows his own head off, and then someone else walks up to him and takes his gun and then blows their head off. And they all look like zombies for no reason. And
people are just killing themselves. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and welcome to Jackass.
People are falling off. They're like falling off buildings on purpose and shit. No one knows why. And basically, the plot of this movie.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say the plot of this movie is basically just that they discover that the plants are mad at us somehow and they're making us kill ourselves.
They release a pheromone that suppresses our survival instincts or some horse shit.
Yeah.
That's a Nicolas Cage ending if I ever heard one.
It's amazing. Ooh. I mean, it's so bad.
The funniest part of that movie for me by far was the one where the woman's watching the video of the guy wandering into the lion's den at the zoo, and he's just like letting them rip his arms off, and he's just like, yeah, this is fine. This is alright.
Yeah. Well, it's great because, like, in none of the scenes in which people are watching this material or being or seeing something grotesque happen, they never sell it. The acting is so extremely bad.
Oh, how horrible.
Yeah, right, like that. Just bland shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, that's terrible. I'm a human. This is how I feel about things.
The movie absolutely reached peak hilarity for me when they were outside that house and Mark Wahlberg singing to the person inside to try and get them into the house, and then the kid gets blasted with a shotgun out of nowhere.
Got those good vibrations. Singing his own song.
Yeah, right. It's like his character isn't even his character. He's Mark Wahlberg.
No, I never saw this movie, but Trisha watched it, and she's like, "Don't waste your fucking time."
No,
she's like, "Don't even bother." She's like, "It's not worth it."
It might be worth it to see once, but even then, I would say it's so bad that you're better off not watching.
Don't pay money for it.
Don't pay money for it.
So. I would say stream this somewhere if you could find it. Here's my thing about it: is I'm glad I watched it. Because this is a legendary bad movie at this point.
Yeah.
This is a bad movie that hasn't even bothered to find a cop-out excuse for why it was so bad.
Oh, no, but according to M. Night Shyamalan, it was meant to be bad.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And all of us dorks don't get it.
Yeah, nobody believes that. Nobody believes that. It's just extraordinarily horrible. Zooey Deschanel is the love interest in this movie.
Zoe.
Yeah, you know, she's cute, but
she's a cutie pie.
Lame in this movie, and maybe lame in general. I haven't decided.
She can act. I know she can act.
Yeah, she can act,
but not in The Happening.
No, it's
she
just you know what that is? That's bad writing. That's what that boils down.
Yeah, that's prequel trilogy syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's just
where you get people like Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman who you know can act, and put them in shitty characters.
Did you guys ever see Jackie with her Natalie Portman as Jackie Kennedy?
No,
it's really good. It just came out recently. It's really good. She can act.
Yeah,
She's a great actress. It's the source material that makes ultimately like a lot of any poor filming boils down to how good the writing is.
I think also though,
good writing can make bad actors good, and bad writing can make good actors bad.
But there's something to be said about direction, and this is where I want to go with this: is that the plot was stupid, yes, and the dialogue was lame in many places, yes. But good direction can take evenly like simple lines that are just moving the plot along from A to B that aren't consequential. Those moments can still be good.
Yeah.
None of them were good. None of them played. Like every single instance of this movie is bad, and it makes me think that it's not just the writing, because there's places where the writing is inconsequential. It's just bad.
Hot Dog Guy.
Hot Dog Guy.
Hot Dog Guy would have been great comic relief if we had something to be relieved from. The whole movie's already comedy. We don't need comic relief.
Yeah.
We don't need faux Tommy Chong talking to us about hot dogs.
Yeah, right. He's a greenskeeper in this movie who or not a greenskeeper. He's got a greenhouse, and he's got all these plants. And for some reason, apropos of nothing, he decides to ask him, "Do you like hot dogs?"
You can tell they definitely wanted Tommy Chong for that role, and they didn't get him. Because even Tommy Chong was too smart to accept a role in The Happening.
Clearly a poor man's Tommy Chong if I've ever seen one.
You're right.
Yeah.
Fantastically bad movie. It's and it's not just the acting. It's not just the bad plot. There's so many ways that this is unwatchable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
By the time the movie ends and the love interests are officially established that everything's gonna be fine and they really love each other, you give no fucks. You just don't care about any part of this movie. Yeah, so that's the only one I really can think of.
It's terrible too because there are great Shyamalan movies. He's become kind of a joke.
Yeah,
honestly.
I thought The Village was good.
The
A lot of people hated The Village.
I think The Village was okay.
Village was all right. Sixth Sense, of course, was great. You know, because
So I know everything about The Sixth Sense. I've never watched The Sixth Sense.
It's
we should watch
pretty
it.
good. It's I'm not sure how it's aged, but I remember it being pretty good. My favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie is definitely Unbreakable.
I've not
heard
seen that
Unbreakable
movie.
was good.
Unbreakable is fan-fucking-tastic.
Bruce Willis and who else?
I don't remember. Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Okay, Willis and Jackson. Classic.
Yeah, that's Die Hard. That's Die Hard too.
Classic
right there.
matchup right there.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Die Hard with a
Zeus was his name, right? Yeah.
Die Hard of the Vengeance. That's a fucking great flick. Man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But no, Bruce Willis is in it, Samuel Jackson is in it, and Unbreakable is probably Shyamalan's best movie, I would say. It's really, really good. And if you guys haven't seen it, we gotta watch it together sometime.
We should watch it.
It's
I should.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah. I have seen Unbreakable. I have not seen The Sixth Sense. Unbreakable is very good.
Now, to close this discussion out,
Okay.
I want to, because we've suffered together through remembering these horrible movies.
Yes.
An Academy Award winning movie that you've seen. Can you pick a favorite? A favorite movie that you've
You mean
seen.
like a best picture that I've seen?
It doesn't
or just
necessarily.
any-
It doesn't
This is an
necess-
Academy Award.
doesn't necessarily have to be Best Picture.
My favorite Academy Award winning movie, is that what you're saying? Or a favorite?
A favorite, yeah. Because mine is definitely this. It won Best Picture in 1992. It is the Clint Eastwood triumph, Unforgiven.
Great movie.
Great
movie.
Probably my favorite. Back in high school, it was Braveheart. Braveheart was my favorite.
Braveheart's good.
Oscar-winning movie.
Yeah.
It hasn't aged too well. Mel Gibson's Scottish accent is really weird.
Oh, it's poor. Yeah.
But
Unbreakable is very good.
Unforgiven. Yeah, I know. I'm using to. Anyway,
I'm sorry to do this to you guys.
movies named after adjectives.
I have to pee so bad.
Well, we should say something sooner.
Give me.
Well, you want to take a little? You
You don't even have to pause it.
All right.
All right.
Going on.
Hey, we're gonna get the sound of you. We're gonna get the sound of you pissing on the microphone.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right, that's cool.
So,
Oh man.
So-
God, the sound of that piss is just gonna be tremendous.
so
no.
Unforgiven won Best Picture in '92.
Oh no.
Follows the story of ex criminal William Money,
Okay.
played by Clint, who takes up a bounty. He's trying to settle down and trying to start a pig farm.
Yeah.
And there's a word comes his way of a bounty on these guys who cut up a prostitute.
Okay. Oh, what?
Yeah, that like
Chop her up?
yeah, no, they cut her face up and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
Like he came at her with a knife, and then so these prostitutes, they put their money together and put a bounty on this guy.
Yeah.
And William Money is pulled out of retirement. Basically, it's a classic. It's almost a send off to Western movies, you know,
Okay.
because the golden age kind of ended in the 70s, you know.
Now this is Clint Eastwood directed this or started this?
Both.
Or both? Yeah.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Clint Eastwood model, isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
It's
yeah.
be everyone in the fucking movie.
Sure, but yeah, and it comes across real well. It's very dark.
Okay.
It's a very wonderfully dark movie about a man who thinks he's put all of his evil ways behind him. And then it just kind of comes around to that's just kind of the way the world is, you know.
That movie is a movie that is consistently given 4 stars across the board.
What would you say? Where's it sit on the tomato meter? Where do you think that
Unforgiven?
tomato
Certified
meter-
fresh. It's
Oh, certified fresh.
Oh, I
sort
would.
of-
Yeah.
It's no.
That's the
Honestly,
only meter I care about. to be
that's a
honest with
movie
you.
that 50 years from now is going to be like Casablanca levels of very good. It's really, really good movie.
What's great
Really good
about
movie.
Unforgiven is, you think Westerns, you think, pow pow, shooty shooty. Unforgiven is a slow burn.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Unforgiven, for real.
Like a lot of Eastwood movies. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like Mystic
sure.
River and
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while to get where it needs to go, and then when it reaches that point, everything else clicks.
Right.
I gotta say this. I'm just not that big a fan of Clint Eastwood. You guys are gonna hate me for it. People listening are probably gonna hate me for it. I'm just not that big a fan of him.
I'm not a fan of his politics.
I just never really. I've not seen anything that makes me want to give a shit.
Mystic River?
I saw Mystic River. I thought it was good.
You and I watched that together.
Yeah.
Well, give Unforgiven a try because
you really will like Unforgiven.
it is a Best Picture that deserves the Best Picture award.
It does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's understated for being a Western up until like the final 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also sort of it's a bit of a thing. There's this undercurrent of legends are stupid. There's no such thing as legendary gunfighters and everything.
Uh-huh.
And then when it eventually it comes into there are. But it's also awful. People dying is a terrible thing,
Sure.
and
Thank you.
these legendary gunfighters are they're awful people.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
that's kind of a refreshing take on the genre now, isn't it?
It is. It's again. It's like I said. It's like a send off to the genre almost.
Yeah.
It's not your typical Western, really. It's not. Justice doesn't get served. It's to quote Eastwood's character in the movie, deserves got nothing to do with it.
Right.
Whoa.
Is kind of the ultimate
That's a great
attitude of the
Eastwood
movie.
line.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet, honestly. I gotta give it to him for that.
It's good. I've got it on DVD. You should watch it sometime.
You will like it. You know what? I'm gonna actually. It's in the $5 bin at work.
Oh.
And I'm on Blu-ray. I'm gonna pick it up. I think, and we should watch it.
Ooh, $5 Blu-ray.
I am 100% serious, by the way, about we should watch some great movies. with each
We've
other.
done a little bit of that, but not a lot.
Not a
And
lot.
every time we do, it's awesome.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Every time we have movie night, it's really
should make
good.
that a-
Maybe we should do that tonight instead of. I know I was talking about Overwatch earlier. Maybe we should
I'm
watch.
totally cool with watching a movie of you guys
Yeah,
just choosing. Because
absolutely.
honestly, you guys need to show me what movies
Yeah,
are good. Because
sure,
I
sure.
cannot recommend anything to you.
Well, speaking of which,
Oscar winning movie, Oscar nominated movies even.
as we were talking about this topic, I actually wrote down a movie that I was going to I changed a couple of my recommendations around based on this. So I have two movies on here as my recommendations this week.
Yeah.
One of them is an Oscar winner, and I'm going to talk about it. The other one is not an Oscar winner. We'll get to that a little later.
Okay.
But the Oscar winner that I picked is one that I've been harping on you guys to watch for a while now. It's Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Maybe that should be tonight.
We're sorry, listeners. We haven't seen Apocalypse
Oh, my
Now.
God.
Yeah.
That is...
It's
I have a lot of favorite movies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like movie. This is actually a movie that I would consider to be like the first time I watched it, a life-changing experience. I always thought that if I had the opportunity to go back to school and learn anything,
Yeah.
I would love to go back and learn film and, in particular, cinematography. And if you're
Oh, of
looking
course.
for a movie that that perfectly demonstrates the art of cinematography,
Yeah.
it's Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
And you can take a still frame from second one of that movie to the final second of that movie,
Yeah.
and
instantly recognizable.
and
like
hang it on your
picturesque.
wall. I mean, it's a work of art. There's
Wow.
so many great, and not and like I'm a big fan of great camera work, but I'm also a great fan of acting.
Yeah.
This movie, if you know anything about film history, was a travesty to film it. It took, you know what I mean? It was a huge mess. Like, they ran over budget. Martin Sheen showed up stoned and drunk for every take. He had a huge
Really?
dependence problem. Yeah,
I
they
didn't
battled that through the
realize
whole
that.
movie. The maybe the highlight of the film for me is that Marlon Brando, his character, who, if you've never seen Apocalypse Now, it's about this guy who keeps signing up for tours in Vietnam because he's mentally broken, and that's all he knows at this point is how to survive in Nam.
Yeah.
And they put him, because he's served, so loyally and so many dangerous things, they put him on this mission to terminate this colonel who's gone AWOL, Colonel Kuntz, who's played by Marlon Brando.
Okay.
And he has to go deep into northern Vietnam to
To like find him and
find
fire him.
and terminate with extreme prejudice.
Oh.
To kill him.
To kill him, which is basically they terminated extreme prejudice is what they say.
I picture him just showed up and going, yeah, sorry, you've been fired. That's a real bummer, right, guy?
So they get Martin Sheen to do
Colonel,
it.
we're gonna need you to pack your desk.
Right. But they tell Martin
what I
Sheen's
thought.
character to go out and find Colonel Kuntz. And
Kurtz, right?
Kurtz, that's
Yeah.
Kurtz.
The testament to how great of an actor Marlon Brando is. He's in this movie for a grand total of maybe 6 minutes of screen time. And he completely steals the entire 2.5 hours away from Martin Sheen's character, who has
shit.
done an excellent job up to this point.
And he's the highlight of this
And
movie.
he is the
still.
highlight of this film. When you see him on screen for the first time, and this is a little film insider knowledge, he showed up for he's supposed to be in the army.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So slim, built commando.
Yeah.
He showed up 40 pounds overweight for the role.
Yeah.
So they filmed him in the scenes that he's in. Spoiler alert, he is in the movie.
Yeah.
They filmed him largely in the dark, in the shadows.
Wow.
And it just adds this thing that was like Francis Ford Coppola's. Like, I have to film him this way because it's going to look silly if we have him out in the light. It adds this.
This is just fat Brando. I'm pretty tough, right? You guys think I'm tough?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
pretty tough, don't I?
So,
Oh, man.
no, but it adds this whole dimension to his character, and when you first see him on screen, he's just this ghostly presence. I mean, he's just haunting. He gives a haunting performance for the little bit of time that he's on screen.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he steals the film away, and it's incredible. It's an incredible movie from start to finish. Whether you watch the original cut or the director's cut, it's a great film, and that is an early recommendation before we do recommendations.
All I can think of when I think of Marlon Brando, and it's so sad because like I know the man's legacy and his accomplishments. What a fantastic writer and director and actor he was. But all I can think of is him in that wine commercial going.
That's Orson Welles.
Oh, right. There you go.
So there you go.
French.
So I don't know his legacy or his accomplishments or anything.
We should
actually.
watch Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
That is it's easily one of my. It might be my favorite film ever. It's an incredible
maybe
film.
tonight.
It's an incredible film.
Yeah,
I'd be down.
Tonight.
I'd be down for Apocalypse Now tonight. Yeah.
I might have it in my bag. We'll have to look. Yeah, that would be mine, and I have some more later.
Nice.
But,
If not, I have other suggestions. Don't worry about that.
what do you got?
I don't know because again, I don't know what I don't tend to pay attention to what won what award.
Sure.
One of my favorite movies is The Usual Suspects. Did that
Yeah!
win
Oh, great movie.
Did that movie win anything? I don't know.
I hope
have no
so
idea.
because it should have. I was just thinking about that movie the other day. It's odd
Yeah.
that this topic comes up.
I actually think it's probably my favorite movie.
That's a great movie.
I'm looking that up now.
That is a
It's-
great flick for everybody.
Yeah.
Whether man, woman, child, maybe not child, man or woman, that is a great film for anybody.
The Usual Suspects won 2 Academy Awards.
Well, there you go.
Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Kevin Spacey.
Of course.
And Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay,
Yeah.
Chris McQuarrie.
you
nice.
cocksucking motherfucker.
Well, it certainly deserved it. And I will say this about that movie is that I've watched it probably 15 times.
It's a great movie. That's
One of the
great
only
movie.
movies that I have watched that much, and I don't get tired of it.
Yeah.
The mystery of it, the mythology of Kaiser Soze, and like the drama and the fear, around his character and all that, and it's funny too. It's a
funny.
fucking funny movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of got everything.
It's a great movie. I have nothing to add to that. It's like people at home. That is a great movie. If
Yeah.
you've never seen The Usual Suspects,
Oh, yeah.
watch The Usual Suspects. That is a really good movie.
Yeah, I will not spoil anything about this movie, but I'll say it's
Please
a movie
don't.
you better stick around for the end for. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a movie you're gonna want to see the end.
Yep.
It's just timeless. It's a classic.
That's
it's so good.
That's such a good film.
Kevin Spacey's incredible in it.
As usual, as per usual.
Oh, yeah.
As per usual.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
Man, that's a great movie.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that won awards, but it certainly
That
I'm
doesn't
glad
surprise me.
Deserves it. Deserves it.
Yeah.
Especially
Great
Kevin
movie.
Spacey's performance. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back, Second intermission here. We got recommendations, and what have we learned about this experience?
Have we learned anything?
We'll find out.
We will find out.
Maybe we have learned.
Second intermission, we turn it over to Mike Milbury, Keith Jones, and Liam McHugh.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after this. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed that shit we put in the middle there. We are Three Dudes Show. We are Three Dudes Podcast, and we are wrapping up this episode.
Yeah, great topic. Can I just say, really great topic.
Thank you.
As usual, your topics are consistently my favorite on the show.
Yep.
These are really good.
Very
really
good. Very good.
I appreciate it. I was struggling to come up with one, and I saw Jaws. Again, happy birthday to Jaws.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic.
Fucking incredible movie.
I still sometimes think about that moment where he's scuba diving by the boat and that body comes out.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
I still get scared sometimes thinking about it.
Yeah,
Scary. It's a scary movie.
I remember when I went to see that on Father's Day, that I forgot about that part, and it just really actually made me jump.
I never forget that part because I was maybe 8 years old or something when I saw that for the first time, and it put fear in my head that never left. Yeah. It's something's gonna come out around that corner.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Great movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of great things, our recommendations for this week.
Yes.
I have what I think is a pretty good recommendation.
All right.
Two, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
My first is one that Dave, you had the pleasure of seeing for the first time a couple weeks ago. Is Goon.
Yeah.
Starring Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
Oh God, did I enjoy that?
Goon is, and I believe you said it's on par or maybe even better than Slapshot.
Yeah.
I believe it's better than Slapshot.
The quintessential hockey movie, Slapshot. Goon does a phenomenal job of appealing to hockey fans. Mm-hmm. It really does.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff in it is wholly accurate to the game. Mm-hmm. It's wholly accurate to how people play in the minors.
Yeah.
And it's funny as fuck.
It also seems to have a couple of nods to Slapshot in the way of certain characters maybe or dynamics on the team that
totally
feel like they kind of harken back like the one guy that's played by what's his fucking face the guy that was in Grand Theft Auto, Stephen Ogg.
Yeah. Right. Trevor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the captain.
Yeah.
Stephen Ogg.
Ogilvy.
Shout out to Stephen Ogg for
Captain
everything
Ogilvy.
he's ever done.
He's great.
He's really
and he's
great.
also his character in this movie is kind of a callback to a dude in Slapshot whose name I can't remember, but who's basically always going on about pussy all the time.
Talking about his divorce all the time.
Yeah, right. There's something about his character that feels really similar to me. They're just both these kind of depraved men.
Yeah. Their goaltender as well. His name is escaping me. It starts with a B. Two rules, man. Don't touch my fucking Percocets. And do you have any fucking Percocets, man? I highly recommend Goon. It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Go and watch Goon.
It's a good movie.
Even if you're not a hockey fan, it's a hockey primer.
Plus, it has Mae Whitman in it, and I feel like she was one of my early celebrity crushes.
Yeah.
Something about
a
Mae
cutie
Whitman.
pie.
Yeah.
What an absolute cutie.
No, yeah, great movie.
My second recommendation is a game that's not on sale, but it's for sale. Rather, you can buy it.
Yeah.
On Steam right now for $20. The PC port of Vanquish.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what this is.
Vanquish.
Is this what I think it is?
I hate to call back to other people who put stuff more eloquently than I do.
Well, sometimes you have to.
Yahtzee. Ben Croshaw, Yahtzee of Escapist.
Yeah.
Okay.
The British guy. He described Vanquish as a window into an alternate universe where cover shooter developers remembered that video games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Vanquish is, imagine the most Japanese Gears of War that you can possibly imagine. Now imagine it has the dialogue of God Hand.
Okay. I'm with you. Anybody? I'm assuming at least a couple listeners of this podcast know what God Hand is.
Yeah.
So
Vanquish is phenomenally funny, over the top, exciting, and fun in a way that only a weird Japanese game involving the Cold War in space could possibly be.
That sounds great. This is not what I was thinking it was.
You have a rocket booster that lets you slide around on the ground.
Okay.
You have a slow motion function.
Yeah, even better. Bullet time.
Yeah, you got cover shooting. All kinds of crazy shit your character can do in the quest to kill Russian robots in outer space.
Jetpacks, Ben.
Yeah.
You had me at jetpacks.
It's over the top in the way that you would expect a Japanese game to be. Sparks and lasers and all sorts of shit flying everywhere.
Oh, it's so cool.
And the dialogue is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's this over the top. Your guy talks like this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's the most fun I've had with a cover shooter maybe since Rainbow Six Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Maybe since Rainbow Six Vegas. Now, Vanquish came out maybe 10 years ago-ish, longer than that.
For what console?
PS3.
Oh, okay.
It came out for the PS3 something like 7 or 8 years ago. And it got received well, and I was thinking about picking up a copy, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So when I heard it was getting a re-release on the PC, I was all over it. And it's
They remaster it a little bit, or what do they do?
maybe a little bit. It's almost a straight up port, honestly. So there are a few texture flaws in the text, especially. You can see it's a little chunky.
Yeah.
But the good news is it runs well on most machines.
Nice.
$20 on Steam. I highly recommend you pick it up. You will have a fucking blast. If you like video games that are fun, if you don't give a shit about how absurd or over the top the story is, get Vanquish.
Now, if I don't like video games that are fun, what should I play instead?
Counter-Strike.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, good.
And I say this, for the past few weeks playing Counter-Strike, but no. If you don't like video games that are fun, I'd suggest
Slaughtering Grounds.
Oh God!
bow 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 bow.
Yeah.
Terrible. Oh,
Terrible.
Do not buy Slaughtering Grounds.
Vanquish, though, is a fantastic game. Some of the same developers, I believe, as Devil May Cry. If that gives you an indication of what kind of gameplay you're in for, I can show you on the Steam link once we're done with the podcast.
I'm downright tickled.
Yeah, let me show you it a little bit later. But Chris,
yes,
your recommendations.
Recommendations. Chris Brady's album of the week this week. We briefly touched on it last week with your recommendation. I know I said earlier that we were going to probably do a lot of metal coming in the future, and that's true. I will be back to it next week, I'm sure.
You just hold on to your butts, kids.
You just hang on to your butts there, kids. If you want to get pulverized right in your butts, I got more metal coming for you next week.
Yeah, this is where people come to get their butts pulverized.
Yeah. This is a great butt pulverizing show.
Yeah, we do
Three Dude Cast. We will pulverize your butt.
That's the Three Dudes promise.
Yeah. That's the Three Dudes promise. But my recommendation this week, you were talking about jazz and trying to get into jazz.
Yeah.
We briefly talked about it. I just got this album on wax not long ago, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Right when I came back from my trip, I picked up John Coltrane's "A Love Supreme" on
Yes! Oh, it's so good.
That is, if anybody doesn't know anything about Coltrane, great. He was basically the voice of the free jazz movement, which is you got your rhythm section in the back barely keeping everything together while the lead player kind of runs amok and does whatever he feels like. What
I really like about Love Supreme is it does this thing that certain Motown songs do. Papa Was a Rolling Stone comes to mind. It's spacious.
Very spacious.
It conveys this immensity of a city that is at once vibrant and empty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a complete. It's a work that you can't listen to a track from. You kind of have to listen to it as a whole.
Yeah. There's 4 movements basically.
Correct. Yeah.
in Love
It's
Supreme.
not an album of tracks. It's an album of movements. And like Acknowledgement is the first one. It starts with Acknowledgement, Pursuance. I'm trying to remember them all as I'm, but it's a record. To put it in context, Coltrane was a well-known heroin addict, like kind of his idol Charlie Parker.
Oh,
And by the time that Love Supreme came out, he had cleaned up his act and found God. So
Where did you find it, by the way?
he found him outside, like
corner of 125th in Lexington.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. He was in the church parking lot smoking a cigarette and playing Candy Crush on his phone.
That's really smart.
No, but Love Supreme is his love letter to sobriety and, more importantly, to God in his aiding of his sobriety.
Okay.
So it's ironic because it's an album that I would imagine sounds really good on drugs. Like if you take a bunch of drugs, I'll bet a Love Supreme sounds great. My favorite thing about this record is the bass sound, and I had to look up his name because I didn't know it offhand. It's a bass player by the name of Jimmy Garrison, who had played a long scope of, with lots of musicians, and it's an incredible bass record.
Now, is this all in those days exclusively cello, or were there other string bass?
It's upright bass. It's upright.
Sure.
It's all upright bass. So but I'm thinking like in particular at the end of the first track on that album is called Acknowledgement. The first movement is called Acknowledgement, and there's this little bass lead in, and they basically let Jimmy Garrison go like for a minute and a half at the end of this track and just lead into the second track, and it just builds into this big explosive, release all the way through the whole album, and it's a really good jazz record. It's basically, I'm a huge Coltrane fan. I have many Coltrane albums, whether they're on wax or on CD. This is his. It's not my favorite Coltrane album, but it's a very close second, and it is, by all accounts, his magnum opus. It's the best Coltrane. From a theory standpoint, it's the best Coltrane album, and it's worth listening.
Excellent.
Very good. My second one is in the vein of the movies that we were talking about. This is not an Oscar-nominated movie. It's actually a little bit more recent movie. I think this movie would have been an Oscar nomination. Yes. Slams crossing his fingers. I think this movie would have been an Oscar nomination if anybody but the director who did it had made it. If somebody you knew had done it, it would have been an Oscar.
It wouldn't be the same movie.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, this is a movie by I don't know the director's name, but it's a first-time director. It's a movie that came out a couple years ago called The Witch.
Oh, yeah.
Stylized as VVITC.
The Veach.
The Veach.
Oh, The Veach.
The Witch.
Look out! The Veach is going to gate.
And if you watch, I mean, by all accounts, it looks like it should have been just a stupid, corny horror movie, and it's so much more. It is so much more.
It's psychological terror.
It is. It's exactly what it is. It's not. It's not a horror movie. It's by all accounts, it's a suspense movie. If you watch it,
it does really leave you guessing. Until the very end. It presents you with a puzzle, and the solution doesn't get shown.
Right.
And even then, it doesn't get shown entirely. Yeah. I think
this is a movie that came out not that long ago, and I remember I watched the trailer with Trisha.
Trish,
my beautiful girlfriend.
Trish,
I watched The Beach with Trish.
She was. I saw her in the pharmacy yesterday. Her hair looks good.
Yeah, it does look good, right? I love it. She dyed her hair.
What am I missing about this hair?
She dyed her hair. I'll have to bring her over sometime. It's a little more blondie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks
pretty neat.
It looks really good. Yeah. But we were watching a movie, and this is by a production company called A24 Productions. And I feel like I've watched several of their movies at this point. They did The Lobster, if you know.
We should look up the director and plug this director.
Yeah,
right
let's
now.
plug it.
Yeah, by all means.
Who's got phones?
Yeah, keep
But
talking.
So A24 Productions, they do a lot of movies that are like it's an indie production company, right?
Yeah.
So half the movies they do are like, okay, whatever, this is indie drivel, and the other half are really fucking good indie films.
Oh, wow.
And movies that deserve to get more credit than they do, and this movie is one of those movies.
Okay.
And it's a film about a family, a Puritan family,
Yeah.
in that time, in that century, who gets what's the word I'm looking
They're
for?
essentially exiled.
Exile.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. They're exiled from
Cast away.
from this Puritan colony, and they build a home for themselves out by the woods.
Yeah.
And there is spoiler alert. There's definitely a witch. There's definitely
Well,
witches.
they open pretty early where you see some
where you see
grotesque
there's
stuff.
some grotesque stuff going. There's definitely witches in. There's a witch in the woods, right? There's there's
a witch.
a witch, if
There's
you
a
will.
witch out there.
Now, the question for the whole film is this witch haunting this family? or is
Robert
something-
Eggers.
Robert Eggers,
Robert
first-time
Eggers.
director. It's important to note that when you watch this movie, he's a first-time director.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it.
No,
It does
not
not
at all.
look like it. So, important things to note about this movie. It is written in the language of the time, which means it's written in Old English.
Period accurate dialect.
Period.
Probably like early modern,
Right.
Early modern English.
So it's not a movie that you can put on in the background. You have to fucking pay attention to it if you're going to watch it.
Right.
And second thing, acting, very well done. Story, very well done. And my biggest hit point for most films, cinematography, very well done.
Yeah.
It is a scary movie, and it has probably my favorite ending of any movie I've ever seen ever.
Have you ever, on a long road trip on the highway, especially here in the northeastern United States, just looked off at the thickets of trees that are off on the
All
side of
the
the
time,
highway
all the time.
and just wonder what the fuck is inside
All
it?
the time.
That's exactly the feeling that the Vitch.
That's a great description of this movie.
Yeah.
It is my favorite ending. It's a great film, and I strongly recommend that to anybody. I watched this movie 3 times in my life so far.
Yeah.
And I can definitely say with 100% certainty that it is in my top 3 favorite movies ever.
I'd like to
really
rewatch this movie, and I'll tell you in particular why. Is I'd like to watch it on a TV where the whole top left corner is
Yeah.
Just in the clog with dead pixels.
Yeah, because we watched this together, and we couldn't see a quarter of the screen because we were watching on that shitty television.
Boys, should we watch this tonight on this TV?
I think we have many options. That is certainly
We
one
have
of
a
them.
lot of
I
options.
love that movie. I'm totally okay with watching that movie.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorites. It's very well directed, very well acted, very well written.
Just gorgeous.
So watch that movie. It's great, and it's even more great when you realize that it was done by a first-time director. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that. My recommendation this week is not going to be music or movie
Okay.
or game. I'm recommending beer. Because after all, like I said, I just got to taste a whole bunch of incredible beers. It reminded me that there's, even though you know that your local drive-through has like 40 different beers you can buy at any given time, that there's stuff out there that you just don't experience often.
Sure.
And
the barbecue thing that I had at
you had a Duclaw barbecue beer.
Yeah.
It was like a barbecue porter.
A barbecue porter.
It's just got this smoky aftertaste. It just spreads across
It's got
your
a real
palate.
smoky afterbirth to it.
It's
Really
And a
nice.
smoky
A
afterbirth.
real nice smoky
And a
afterbirth.
smoky afterbirth.
Well, now blues legend Smokey Afterbirth was a
Blues legend smoky
A
afterbirth.
good friend of Blood Country.
Jay Hawkins. Yeah.
But yeah, so I was reminded there's a lot of incredible beers out there that you might not necessarily. God, Blood Curdle and Shriek and Jay Hawkins.
Yeah.
So
It's a legend, man.
I
He
have,
is a legend.
I have 2 beers I want to recommend.
Yeah,
Okay.
great recommendation.
Yeah,
oh
this is
man,
fun. Yeah.
going off, not off topic,
Off script.
off script.
Yeah,
we're
man.
in left field at
Going
this
way
point.
out. I'm out way in left field.
You're way out.
I'm like
there.
off the chain, man.
Yep, you're chewing
I'm like-
tobacco. You're spitting
Off the
on
hizzy for
fans
shizzy.
in
Yeah,
Boston.
man. I'm like off the reservation. You
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went way off the deep end.
Just,
You know what I'm talking about?
Insane.
So, the
So,
first
yeah.
one is by a brewery that is called Trogs, which I'm sure you've seen some of their
Oh
beers
yeah,
around.
absolutely.
And this is a beer that you can get locally here. And you You might not necessarily pick it up just not knowing what it is or whatever, but, oftentimes we buy things by the label.
Sure.
And other times we don't want to take a risk. Well, I had this one at the festival. I thought this was really good. This is called the Troganator by Trogs. It's the name of the beer.
All right.
It's got a picture of a wizardy looking guy on the front. He's the Troganator, I think. And this beer is a double bock. So it's a nice, really dark, roasty kind of ale.
Yeah.
Sits around 8.2% alcohol, I think. Very low in the bitterness scale, about 20 some odd IBUs.
Okay.
It's got what I would describe as a really caramely and kind of chocolatey taste to it.
Ooh.
It's not quite a porter. A double bock isn't really exactly there.
Sure.
To look at it through the light, it's got a beautiful red hue. It's real dark red.
So it tastes reasonably thick.
Oh
basically.
my God, does it ever. It's a really thick...
a hearty...
They actually describe it as chewy, if you can believe it. They describe the beer as chewy.
Is that accurate?
I would say it's a little bit of a cartoony way to say it's a real thick beer.
Well, technically, if you're talking liquid, I know when they classify bourbon, they classify it as can you do the Kentucky chaw? It's like smack your lips in your tongue when you're tasting bourbon. So chai,
right. I can see that.
Smacking your lips kind of.
It's a very thick beer, the mouthfeel of the beer is very thick.
There's nothing better than a really rich, thick beer like
this.
This
is it.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a beer that's roasty, dark, thick, strong in flavor, but not overwhelmingly bitter, I highly recommend that one.
Good choice. Yeah.
Troganator is fantastic. You can get around $12 for a 6-pack.
Cool.
Not bad. Not
bad.
Pretty reasonable.
For craft beer.
Yeah.
The second, this is by a brewery called Ballast Point.
Okay.
They make a lot of very interesting beers, a lot of very good beers. The one in particular that I tried, and this one I did not try at the festival. I went to see my dad on Monday for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Saw him, the day after. We had some beers, and this is a beer he picked up just on the label, which is like a skeleton with his arms crossed or something like that. And it's called Victory at Sea.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's a porter, so it's another dark beer.
Yeah.
It's very, very rich. It sits around 10% alcohol. It's when you pour it in a glass and hold it up to the light, you can't see through it.
Wow. Okay.
It's so goddamn dark.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking black as night for a beer.
Wow.
And it's a porter with coffee notes, vanilla notes. It has a really, really good, rich taste. A little bit sweet, and I think basically if you like dark beers and porter type beers, that's one.
Good.
It's a fantastic porter.
Excellent.
Probably one of the better ones I've ever had.
Ballast Point was the name.
Ballast Point. I got the little behind the scenes fact for the Three Dude Cast.
Yeah.
We all have little pieces of paper or notebooks in front of us.
Yeah, we're serious fucking newscasters.
Right. I mean, seriously,
we do our research by
Stone
writing
fucking
down
Phillips.
things that
we
each other said.
have little scratch notes in front of us for each episode. There's no pre-production for any Three Dude Cast that we do, but we kind of write what we learned, you know what I mean, as we do the podcast. And I like to keep notes of what my recommendations are and topic and stuff we talked about, things like that. For every session that we do, every time that one of these guys makes a recommendation, especially one that I'm particularly interested in, I write it down and I circle it so I can go back later and check it out.
I just remembered there's something I have to cover yet, and I haven't. And it's called Bad
Johnson.
Oh, Bad Johnson, yeah.
Close enough,
I was close.
Close enough. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, you're sitting here with your dick out the whole time.
You're right.
I was wondering what that was about.
Should probably cover that
Some
up.
kind of
Bad
protest?
Johnson. Let's talk about, because for those of you who didn't listen to last week's podcast, which why didn't you?
Why would they?
Dave was talking about preparing a sausage party for a movie called Bad Johnson, which looks like, by all accounts, it should be a bad movie.
Yes.
So you brought up last week, is it something that you would recommend that we watch for the humor of it being a bad movie, or should we not watch it?
Well, that's the thing, is you go into any bad movie hoping it's a good bad movie, right? Even people recommend I've read people recommend Bad Johnson as a bad movie to watch.
Yes.
It's just a bad movie.
It's just a bad movie.
Not even a good bad. I know, it's so disappointing. No one is more disappointed than me.
The parts I saw, it seems like a decent idea.
Yes.
Maybe something that could be incorporated into like an Adam Sandler or Rob Schneider sort of thing.
The concept was great. It was a high concept thing where a guy's dick keeps getting him into trouble, and so he wishes his dick away. And then it becomes a guy and calls him from a payphone the next day going, hey, I'm in the alley, you gotta pick me up.
Hey, if that's a Seth Rogen movie, that's a fucking hit.
Right, exactly.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Put someone in there that I care about, maybe I would have really enjoyed it.
Then maybe make Pierce Brosnan as his dick.
I will...
That would be... Make that movie! Seth Rogen, if you're listening, make that movie.
Make the movie where Pierce Brosnan is your dick and he's way better than you in, like, every way.
Do it, yeah.
But no, the unfortunate reality of this movie...
I saw you from across the bar. And I thought to straighten my posture.
No, I was bummed out. I was depressed because here's the thing. The concept is good.
Yeah.
The acting is bad, but not like,
It's not Neil Breen bad. It's not Tommy Wiseau bad.
Exactly. It's not the right kind of bad. And on top of that, the whole movie seems to be a venue for racist jokes. And not
There is that.
Not the kind that you like, right? Like, not the kind where it's like there's a point and it's satire and it's like, a racial joke.
Hey guys, Chinese people eat cats?
Yeah, it's like, there was a point in the movie in which the penis character, I hate having to say those words, the guy who plays the dick says something like, we go together like cornrows and crime.
Oh.
Nope.
On that note, I have to go pee again.
Oh, boy.
So,
okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, okay.
I'm still peeing. This episode's called Ham Has to Pee.
That's right. Ham's just being this whole episode.
Oh, God, so much piss.
So, basically, unfortunately, I have to say, for a lot of reasons, this movie just didn't redeem itself.
I forgot about the racist jokes, to be fair.
And you know what? Again, we're not a bunch of fucking prudes on this show.
No, yeah.
We're really not. No, we like offensive jokes if the joke's in the right place. If there's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not a bunch of fucking prudes. Racism for the sake of racism because racism is funny is not something that appeals to me.
Nah.
And this movie just missed the fucking mark. And then the thing is too, when you follow up on this guy on Twitter, the screenwriter, because I had to. The movie, the movie was over, and I went, okay, I gotta know who wrote this. It's just his entire Twitter feed is like, oh, this is a terrible person I don't want to have any association with.
Oh, I bet.
So you're saying...
You don't recognize real genius when you see it. Blocked.
Yeah, right.
So this guy is seriously a dick in real life?
I don't think they can hear you, but yes, this guy is seriously a dick in real life. He's just like
How about that?
He's just eminently hateable to read and, not funny.
Yeah.
And the movie was bad and not in a good way.
Not worth your time. All right.
I hate to say it.
Well,
don't watch Bad Johnson.
Well, as for what we've learned, we always got to learn something.
Did we learn anything?
I've learned something. I would like to.
I want to apologize because we did we dragged this episode longer than it needed. Again, I think we're okay though.
We're coming up on 2 hours. This is a good.
That's okay. You know what?
This is very
again.
long.
We're not doing this for you guys.
That's what she said.
We're doing this for us.
But also, please listen.
But also, please listen. I hope you guys like
need you
it.
to.
We're sorry that the podcast is long, but we have a lot of fun doing this, and it just kind of trails off every week. So
yeah, no, I think it's good.
Yeah,
I mean, what it is we definitely give a fuck about you guys, but
sure.
we don't really give a fuck about time.
Yeah, that's. I guess that's what it is. So we're aware of the fact that this is long, but. Yeah. When we get on a tangent for a topic, we just have to let it run sometimes. So sorry.
So this week I learned that breakdancers arrive in cyclones. That is the grouping.
Yes, I also wrote that.
Yeah, I thought I might have seen it.
Breakdancers are classified as cyclones.
Cyclone breakdancers. Fun fact: did you know a group of ferrets is called a business, and that's one of my favorite things ever.
A business of ferrets.
Business of ferrets. It's so cute.
Actually, just thinking about it, I want to go buy something from this ferret business. I wish it had a storefront on Main Street. I go buy everything.
Mainly brushes and small, tiny toy rubber mouses.
Yes.
Yes. Little things for them to rub their faces on.
Little fuzz snakes.
Little fuzz snakes.
they're
Oh,
cute.
geez, oh, fuzz snakes are very. Yeah. I learned that payday loans suck.
Yes.
I also learned that when you're talking about 10-year-old boys, it's best to be clear.
Let's just make a general rule. Avoid 10-year-old boy asses as a subject of conversation.
Just stop talking about 10-year-old boys.
Avoid 10-year-old boys in general because they're shitheads.
Me. Stop talking about 10-year-old boys.
We've all all of us have been 10-year-old boys at some point or another. 10-year-old boys suck.
Yeah. Fuck 10-year-old boys.
Don't fuck 10-year-old boys.
Don't fuck 10-year-old boys. Please don't fuck 10-year-old boys. We're not advocating that.
They're assholes.
They're not about their
They're
assholes.
more than assholes. They're actual people, and you don't want to get just don't.
No,
fuck them.
they're barely people.
They're not.
Just barely.
Before age 17, you're not really a person. Is what we're trying to say.
Okay, so what I learned this week, and I clearly wrote something wrong. Marlon Brando is not Marlon Brando. But what I meant,
that's fucking deep,
Orson
dude.
Welles
Orson Welles is not Marlon Brando.
is definitely not Marlon Brando.
But for the record, Marlon Brando isn't Marlon Brando either.
Sure,
You can make him that whatever you
that's
want.
fucking deep, yo.
Yeah.
I learned this week that I need to be watching more movies.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
I have an unfortunate tendency to stick with what I'm comfortable with, and I need to cut that shit out.
And I'm trying to break that too. Yeah, that needs to be a thing that we do on Dude's Day is watch more films together.
Yeah.
Totally,
I think so.
totally.
I also but just remembered Megan Fox has those weird toe thumbs.
Toe thumbs, yeah.
And they're super
Yeah.
strange,
Yeah.
and you should definitely look at them right now.
I learned that Megan Fox is apparently kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Today I learned.
Yeah.
Huh.
I learned.
Well, yeah, that's
Is
about
that all we learned?
I think that's it.
That's about all we learned.
Wow.
You gotta learn something. Whether it's any knowledge is good knowledge.
Yeah.
I say.
Yeah.
And on that note, I leave you with the knowledge that this episode of the Three Dudes podcast is hereby henceforth and wheretofore concluded.
Yeah.
That's about right. Is it over though?
No, of course not. We'll be back next week, and Drog will be hosting.
Yeah, think
our,
on that topic, baby. I'm
guess-
still processing what my topic will be. This is how involved I am in our podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think intently on what my topic is going to be after your topic. I'm like focused
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, boy.
I think topic to topic.
You guys always win the topic game. I really want to knock you out of the water with one.
practice on it.
Yeah.
Get all week. Dude,
You will.
I've never had a bad time recording this podcast.
No, this is
a
always
lot of
fun. We're chronicling our friendship.
Let's just say this. Let's just say this now for the listeners, because I know there's a bunch of you. If you want to be on the podcast,
Yes.
at some point we're gonna be having guests on the show.
We've been approached by a few friends.
We-
people that we really want to have on.
A few friends we want to have on. I know one of them who has not approached us, who I want to be on the podcast.
Yes.
And we will, at some point we're going to be having guests on the show. So if you would like to be on the show, make it known to one or all of us, and we will try and make that happen for you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And on that note,
Thank you for tuning in. This has
Thank
been
you.
another episode of the Three Dudes Podcast. Coming at you next week, Tuesday, June. Good night. And good luck.